Welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. I really appreciate you taking your time to join us today. We're going to be talking about this comical video from Midwest Safety where these police officers get their car stolen from one of their victims. Well, yeah, he's one of their victims. He was stealing a motorcycle. He's known for being a thief, so he's basically a garbage pail, human being who got arrested and cuffed by uniformed garbage pail, human beings. But what happens to these cops is hilarious. I wanted to share it with you, but before we go over that right here, I wanted to talk about this right here because I just saw this before we went live, and a lot of people write me, email me, send me messages and say things like, Brian, if it weren't for cops, there are some people who wouldn't be alive today. Cops do good things. They help people. They render first aid. They keep babies from choking. I have never made the claim on this channel that cops don't sometimes do good things. The worst human beings can do good things. I'm sure Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and the Nazi SS did some good things to people in their zone of influence when they had the chance. Maybe they had pets. Maybe they were animal lovers. They had some good traits. But if those good traits are overshadowed by your bad traits, if you live your life and take a profession and pursue a career path where you're actually hurting people because somebody wrote something, some magical thing on a slip of paper and told you to do something, and you went ahead and did it that resulted in the harm of somebody, what does that make you? I don't remember the proverb. It says something to the effect of a little bit of good can wipe away a whole lot. I'm sorry, a little bit of bad can wipe away a whole lot of good. So it doesn't matter how much good you've done. If you do one bad thing, it can erase the whole thing. For example, you could treat your wife like a princess 364 days a year, but on that 365th day, you beat the crap out of her to the point where she's got to go to the emergency room and get stitched up and taken care of. It doesn't matter what you did for 364 days. All people are going to remember, and rightly so, is that 365th day where you abused your power, you abused your authority, you abused your relationship, and you harmed somebody that didn't deserve to be harmed. So that's what I got a problem with cops. So I'm going to show you this right here. This cop does a good thing by saving this guy from a burning car. And the name of this channel right here is Reel's channel, and they're 100% pro police. But I want to go through this. It's only 2 minutes and 23 minutes and 26 seconds. We're going to go over it and make some comments along the way, and then we'll get to our main event. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let's take a look at this.
Want to get in our first triple play of the weekend. Sean Larkin, take it away.
This first one comes to us from the South Lake Police Department down in Texas, where an officer was on a traffic stop when suddenly a smoking car drove right past him. He immediately left that stop and caught up to the car that was on fire. Here's what happened next. A South Lake police officer is pulling up to the smoking car when all of a sudden the car bursts into flames.
Out of the car now! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out of the car!
All right, before we take a look at the rest of this, somebody's having trouble. Is it buffering? Can you guys hear me and system audio before I go any further? I have been known to go for 5 minutes and just ramble and nobody can hear anything. So give me a 5x5 if you can hear me and you can hear system audio. Now, while I'm waiting for you guys to respond to that, this cop is doing a good thing, but you don't need to be a cop to do that good thing. It does not necessitate the presence of a police officer to save somebody that's burning up, or the cab is filled with smoke, to save somebody in a burning vehicle, or to stop a child from choking, or to put a tourniquet on a leg, or to pick a motorcycle rider up off the ground and take him to safety. It doesn't require being a police officer. Yes, police officers can do good things. But we're going to, as we go along this video right here, we're going to ask some questions along the way and bring us back into reality. Because like I said in one of my videos that I uploaded today, emotion can sweep you away and it can cause you to abandon logical thinking.
Get out of the car. Let's go. Come out of the car. Open it. Open it. Open it. Get out. Get out. Come out through the window. Hey, come out through the window. Sir, come out through the window.
Kind of crazy that this car is burning like this.
No, now give me your hand. hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand now. I got you. Get me out.
The officer pulls the driver to safety
All right, you okay? Anybody else in the car? No one else in the car?
and leads him away from the burning car.
Here. Come with me.
Joining us now is the officer that you just saw, South Lake Corporal Joshua Swisher. Hey, thanks for being here with us tonight. So what's it like looking back?
Now, yeah, I agree. Cops aren't heroes. They're not the heroes and warriors that people paint them out to be, but this was heroic. To stop and help somebody is heroic. It's a decent thing to do. It's what you would want done to you if you were in a predicament like this.
Back at this footage right now.
I mean, it's crazy to review it. I didn't realize in the moment how quickly that car went up into flames. I mean, almost seconds after I pull him from the vehicle, the car gets completely engulfed. So I'm just really glad that the driver's okay.
All right, now take us through the rescue. At what point did you realize how serious the fire was?
At first, when I first saw the car out of my left window, I see a lot of smoke pouring out from underneath the car. I'm seeing a little bit of flames, but it wasn't until I actually got up behind him, got him stopped and pulled over the shoulder that bottom of the car went completely up in flames. It's like flames shot out from every side underneath the car.
And you immediately tried to open the door. What happened there?
When I pulled on the door handle, it actually came off in my hand. I don't feel like I yanked that hard on it, but maybe the adrenaline was going and the door handle came off in my hand.
All right, so what happens next?
Yeah, so I tried pulling on the window with both my hands. I was trying to break it and it didn't go, I think because I had both hands on the window. And so I put my glove on thinking I don't want to cut my hands. And so when I put my glove on and actually reach on the window with one hand, I was able to shatter.
Man, I can't look at the smoke just billowing out. It's just black smoke. Can you imagine even taking one breath of that?
My hands. And so when I put my glove on and actually reach on the window with one hand, I was able to shatter it and get it open.
And then it was just a question of getting the driver out of the car, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, come out to me, grab my arm, grab my hand, something like that. Because I could see his hands trying to open up the car door from the inside, it looks like, but there's so much smoke pouring out, I barely see him. And
now, I got a question for Joshua Swisher. And again, I'm not taking anything away from this incident right here. Kudos to Joshua Swisher, the law enforcement agent who saved this man from this burning vehicle. Good job. Very heroic. That's what human beings do for other human beings. But I got a question for you, Swisher. How many people are in jail right now that didn't victimize anybody, and yet they're still sitting in a cage because of you? How many innocent people? How many tickets have you written? How much money have you generated for the state in the name of the protection and service racket? Nobody's going to ask these kind of questions because it's politically incorrect. It makes people feel uncomfortable. They want to believe that law enforcement agents, the thin blue line gang, as we call them, are heroes, are warriors, and are worthy of a long funeral procession if they ever die, a 21 gun salute, a flag draped coffin, and everybody needs to mourn for them. Even if it's a police dog, we want to stop traffic because we want you guys to understand how heroic and sacrificial these human beings are, these human beings in uniforms with badges. It's an elevation. It's putting somebody on a pedestal that doesn't deserve to be on this pedestal.
so I just grab onto him, he grabs onto me.
And if you're in the room right now and you disagree with anything I'm saying, let me know. We can talk about it. I can open it up. If you're pro thin blue line, if you're pro law enforcement, put a 1 in the room.
And I yank him out the window.
Now, I know that you've already received the Meritorious Conduct Award from your department, but Corporal, I hear that you also got a special award from the guys on your shift.
Yeah, so the shift that I work for here at South Lake PD, I'm on the nights 2 shift. They actually
Delete laws puts an X.
presented me with a little trophy or award, and it was the charred door handle of the vehicle with my name on it, and that was something special. So shout out to Sergeant Sewell and the rest of the officers on my shift.
Now, let me ask you this. If you were in a position where you could save a law enforcement officer from a burning car, would you do it? Would you do it? Would you save that human being in uniform, or would you let the fire just consume him? What would you do? Put a 1 in the room if you'd save him, a 2 in the room if you would just let him go and go the other way.
Well, congratulations. Again, great job out there, and you certainly deserve that door handle.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Again, great job by the corporal there. Him being at the right place at the right time probably saved this guy's life.
No question.
But Curtis, those little type of awards that your squad mates give out on things like this, that's something
It's
you
good.
cherish with you throughout your
Absolutely.
career.
Yeah, absolutely. You save those things.
Yeah, you save that one guy, but then there's 100 other guys in jail right now. You save that one guy, but then there were those half a dozen people or a couple dozen people that you electrocuted on the roadside because they had a tag light that was out and they didn't comply with your commands when you thought that they should. So let's see. So 2 in the room if you just let him burn. Let's see. Tan says no. Lick says no. Jennifer says no. Wouldn't save him. Bruce says probably. Sojourner says absolutely. Let's see. What is Delete Law? Delete Law says he would save him. Pitter says that they would save the cop if he was burning in a car. If you're just joining us, the question is, would you save a law enforcer if he was in a burning car or a burning building or in a hanging from a cliff or in some kind of predicament where his life is basically hanging in the balance? Would you reach out a hand? Would you attempt to save him? Delete Laws, thank you very much for that super chat. I'd save any human from burning. F the police, somebody match me. Match the tent. Thanks, Delete Laws. I appreciate that. By the way, check out Delete Laws' channel. This guy is pedal to the metal, trying to help people, trying to set up a system where if any one of us gets in trouble by the long arm of the law, then there's a system in place for them to be able to activate and access and basically round up the troops, as it were, and get a whole bunch of people involved in the combating the criminal activity from the law enforcement agent that just cuffed you and stuffed you and caged you. So I'm on board with you people who said that you would save the person. I can't even imagine walking by as some other human being is screaming for my help. I don't care what they've done. I don't care who they are, what their profession is. I would just save them and let the chips fall where they may. I'd have to. Seldwin, hey, what's up, man? Selwinden. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, it's called You've Got Bail, and hopefully that's going to be online soon, and it's going to be a powerful tool that anybody can activate very, very easily, and we can all get together and we can help each other. An injustice that happens to one man anywhere is an injustice that happens to all men everywhere. And when that injustice happens, not if, but when that injustice happens, don't you want a whole bunch of people who are your online friends to be able to be activated, to be in one place and be able to pool a bunch of resources so it doesn't cost any one person a whole bunch of money? You can chip in $1, $2, $5, $10, $20 to get that person out of that RAPE cage, because that's what it is. It's just as dangerous encountering a cop as it is being thrown into a dungeon where the cop is going to place you, because now you're in the cage with, potentially some pretty bad hombres, let's say. Yeah, I didn't say no. I didn't say anybody had to do anything. I just and I don't think less of anybody. I'm just telling you from my own personal thing. I couldn't let a fellow human being burn. All right, so let's take a look at this right here. This comes from Midwest Safety. I hate to give them a view, but you know what? We're going to watch this because this is almost like watching Reno 9/11, man. They hunt this guy down who supposedly stole this motorcycle. They cuff him, they stuff him, they put him in the front seat with his hands cuffed in torture cuffs. But by the way, they're not made for comfort. You understand that, right? If they're not made for comfort, then they're made for discomfort. So they're made to be uncomfortable, painful, torturous. And what do the protectors and servants do? Even though they haven't convicted you of any crime, you haven't been implicated in a crime, they put the hurt on you, and you could actually suffer from permanent nerve damage with those things ratcheted down. So they ratchet down. Thank you very much, Mama. 440 joules, UNC alert. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. Mama rages. All right, let's take a look at this.
Officers are pursuing a stolen.
Anyway, they cuff him, they stuff him. They've got his cuffs, his wrist cuffed behind his back, and he manages to get out of the cuffs and steal the patrol vehicle. And the reaction of these law enforcement agents is hilarious. And I wanted to share this laugh with you guys.
And once they detain the rider, he makes a shocking move they never saw coming.
Hey, sir. I don't want to get in the car and make a snow issue. I didn't steal that bike. Okay. Did I run because I know it was stolen? Yes. Can I smoke one cigarette before we go in, please?
Nope. Look, man, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I didn't see you guys behind me for a long time.
The owner of this bike is tracking it, okay?
So how come you didn't get it from dude earlier this morning? I know who had that bike earlier.
Who's that?
I'm not aware. I can barely talk. Can I please have a drink of water?
I don't have any water, man.
I can't talk. I'm not trying to be I promise you.
Well, you just told me you wanted me to get bit by that dog.
Because I was upset at the time. Please let me smoke a cigarette, man, please.
Cigarettes are going to dry your mouth out even more, man.
I don't care. I'm going to prison,
Yeah,
please.
so
Please, man.
if you're cool with me, I might let you smoke one when you get to jail.
Bacchus Mill, if you're here at the end of this live stream, remind me of that again. I was not aware that Sean from Long Island Audit was recently arrested. Is he still in jail right now?
Oh,
How much do you have in the bag?
like a quarter gram of ice and 2 Xanaxes.
Says in most states, receiving stolen property or being in possession of a stolen vehicle is a misdemeanor. I know, Craig. I saw this yesterday, and man, me and Trish were just guffawing at this. God, this is great, man. Look at this. Guys, I'm going to be laughing a lot, but I want to share this laugh with you because a little bit of levity is good in this day and age of flawed security. They're trying to construct this panopticon where they can keep an eye on all of us at all times. So this is just one of those things where look at this cop's face. This is priceless. They did not expect this, and it happened to him. I love it, man. He's not in jail. It was a 7-hour stay in jail. Did he have to stay in jail that long, or is it because they couldn't round up the money or come up with the bail or get it to him in time? What was the? We'll talk about that. Drive like you stole it was a meme. we're gonna be pausing this at some very key hilarious moments here. He calls it also. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket and calls his girlfriend. He's like, "Baby, what do I do? I'll meet you at your dad's house. Pick me up. I'm gonna lay low."
That happened, Lee.
How'd that happen, Lee? I mean, this is like Gomer Pyle. We're in Mayberry. This is Reno 9/11. We got it all here. And let it not be lost on us that the guy who stole the police car is putting lives in jeopardy on the roadway, but the cops are also doing the same thing as they try to chase their suspect.
I stole a cop car and I'm driving. You gotta meet me somewhere, baby, so I don't get caught. Where are you meeting me?
Look at this.
Relax.
Listen.
Relax, baby. We'll get him.
Relax, baby. We'll get him. Hold on a second. I got to play this over, man. This is just too rich. Too rich. Here we go.
Caught. Where are you meeting me?
Relax. Relax. Relax, baby. We good.
Go up behind.
He's hyperventilating. Oh, that's funny. Did somebody? Yeah, them Duke boys is getting away.
Ross's gas station. How long till you're there? Baby, how long till you're there? Where you at? You're in this?
He was handcuffed.
Hey, he was handcuffed. How'd that happen, Lee? Lee, he got away. I can't believe it, Lee. What are we doing wrong here?
Baby, the cops are on my ass. What do I do? Baby! Baby, I'm heading to your dad's house.
Yeah, I totally agree. Delete laws. As funny as this whole thing is, it is sprinkled with sobriety because, man, imagine driving down the road, your loved ones, you know, you got kids out there, you got moms, you got families driving down in some minivan or something, and he sideswipes them and they go into oncoming traffic and just their lives end. That's the point. That's the part that's not funny. And yeah, the high speed pursuit needs to stop. They've got a low jack in every single one of these vehicles. They can locate where this car is. They can put a bird in the air. They've got drones. They've got ALPRs. You know, as much as we hate those things, they could use anything but this. But a further high speed pursuit where you got not just one person on the road. Now you got 5 or 6 people on the road just blazing down the highway. And I think they get up to 127 miles per hour here.
There.
Now here they go. I forgot to point out to you that the guy who stole the cop car blew that stop sign and came really, really close to either T-boning somebody or getting T-boned himself.
How did that happen?
Baby, I'm gonna jump. Baby, I'm gonna jump in the river and swim down. Okay, baby, look for me, please, please. I'm heading towards Greenville right now. Okay.
That's just crazy. That's squad 1.
Hey, you know where your village is at? I'm gonna try to hide somewhere around there, okay? Hey. What?
Wow, that was a dangerous move right there. Did he just passed a guy with a trailer?
Hey.
Watch this. He cuts in front of this guy. Watch this. It would have been so easy for him to just run that guy off the road. That's super dangerous.
Love you.
Next thing I know, he was just
He was trying to slip the cuffs while that cop was in the driver's seat.
I saw him when we all went to press his bag, put the bag over on the drive.
I don't mind these kind of comments. First of all, you got to. First of all, what the hell? What's the deal with the stupid thumbnail? That's you're calling me a shill, but you're gonna have a stupid, provocative thumbnail like that. I can't even take you seriously, man. And by the way, if it is a hoax, just go ahead and make your own video and prove that it was a hoax. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know if it is or isn't. I don't know if he's dead or alive. I can't prove it either way. But if it did happen the way they say it did, it wasn't a 30-06, in my opinion. And if it was, if Tyler Robinson was involved, I don't think he was the lone gunman, just like I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman, but that's my opinion. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and I question all that stuff, but stop being a shill. First of all, what am I shilling for? What have I said that was wrong about that? And who are my masters? And go ahead and prove all your assertions. Okay, I'm not going to kick you out. Get a real job. Now I know that you aren't interested in a real debate. Now I know you're not interested in a real conversation. Because when you start pulling out the ad hominems, I know you're not serious. Don't you wish this cop was this upset about his fellow? Watch how upset he's getting about a cop car being stolen. His cop car. Watch this. Don't you wish cops were this intense about securing and protecting your rights? And this pissed off that their fellow human being cops are tyrants that are taking away other people's rights. But no, all he's mad about is he messed up. He put somebody in the passenger seat he shouldn't have. Now the guy stole his vehicle. He doesn't give a damn about your rights. He just wants his vehicle back.
Hey, relax, man. Relax.
Relax, baby. I'm surprised you didn't say relax, baby. 50 more memberships from Jay Lobo. Wow. Wow. Let me know who got those. I can't see it on my StreamYard platform here. Gosh, man. Thank you, Jay Lobo. Got him with the spike strips. Oh, boy. Now he's not just speeding with a 4,500, 5,000 pound vehicle. Now he's speeding with a vehicle that he can't control. Good job, coppers.
He's on 67 North. Okay, just rounded the curve right now.
Maybe.
All right, Gunner, if you keep on spam, okay, the spams, that's not free. That's not free speech. That'd be like walking into a room with a bullhorn and you just keep going blah, 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 and you don't give everybody else a chance to talk. Just one more spam and I'm just going to, there you go. All right, how do you do this? I've never done this before. How do you do that? I don't even know how you do that. How do you suspend somebody from the room? I do not know. I don't even know how to do that. Delete comment, put user. Oh, there you go. Put user in timeout. There we go. All right. That's because you violated everybody. Block truth. He says block truth. And the reason I did that was because he's violating everybody else's right to speak by just spamming the room.
York Village, they hit me with spike strips. I can't drive so much further. York Village, I'm gonna run and hide. Love you. Love you.
I should be able to catch up. Right. You got the pink. Yeah, I know.
It's like it's such a lowbrow, low IQ thing to do, to come into somebody's room and say that somebody is a shill and has masters when you don't even come with the proof. Accusation without substantiation has always been and always will be the height of ignorance. And I really don't have time to talk to ignorant people. Although you can be ignorant in the chat room, just don't trample on anybody else's rights in the chat room. If you agree with that, put a 1 in the room. If not, put a 2 in the room. And I'm always open to correction and criticism.
You're good my way.
Letting him get to me, I like to address things head on. I don't like to push things under the rug or just let somebody do whatever they want to do. If I can catch it, I'll talk about it. I'll discuss it. Get to me? It's not really getting to me. I don't understand that.
Those pieces of found on the 49.
Westbound on 49.
Look at how many. Don't you wish they would deploy this kind of resources and manpower to protect your rights? Don't you wish that when other law enforcement agents move into town, like the FBI or the CIA or the ATF, that they would just surround your house as a barrier and say, guys, you ain't coming here. You're out of your jurisdiction. You know, read the 10th Amendment or whatever. We are constitutional over here. We're going to at least protect their Bill of Rights. That we're going to protect the right to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. And you can't go into their house. You can't form a SWAT team. You can't raid them. Dakota is not doing well, G Dent. Thank you, man. Appreciate you asking. All right, so he ditched the vehicle.
Bailed on foot? I can't hear. He said he did. He bailed on foot. None of these screws.
It was kind of smooth.
I don't see him. Cat, where you at? See him? No. Cat, where you at? Where you at? Bobby! Cat!
They advise the subject has fled in the S-curve on 49.
Got it, where you at? Got it, where you at? Anybody see him, hear him? Come on, Bobby. Is Bobby right here,
You know,
too? Got it?
he was like a cartoon character.
Buffalo Creek, Ripley County.
Oh gosh, he's got a 3-hour drive.
Should I ask if the weapons are still
Sure,
secure?
working that way. We're headed that way.
Bobby? Bobby!
He's basically saying, should I ask if my fellow Thin Blue Line gang members had their weapons secure? Or are we going to assume that the guy who slipped out of the handcuffs not only has one of the patrol cars, but he also has one of the cops' weapons? Should I ask about that?
Scott! Scott!
Can you check with on-scene officers, see if the rifle and shotgun still secure in his vehicle?
Oh, no.
We better be checking.
I know, the time weapons are secure.
Now, wait.
If Gomer Pyle did steroids.
You're in the house.
Keep walking.
Still trying to contact the K9.
Scotty!
I don't know who Scotty is. Is it the guy who slipped out of the cuffs?
Was that somebody yelling? Hold on for a minute. Come on, Scotty. Answer, baby. Answer, Scotty.
Wait a second. He's calling the black cop's calling him baby, so it's got to be one of his Thin Blue Line members.
I hear him back there. He's way back here.
Yeah, it could be the first trooper.
I can see 52's rifle is secure in his vehicle still.
A shotgun.
You don't have the, he said, well, because not all the vehicles have these. That's true. Shotgun secure in his vehicle. That's good. 334 Lincoln County, do we know subject armed or not? You just heard me say that. They scan us.
Oh, we're here, Chris. Over here, Chris. We got eyes, Chris. We got eyes on him.
What do you say?
Located the deputy.
Is deputy secure?
He sounds like a train wreck.
They always.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're amped up. I get it.
Oh, look. Did you see that? They were saying some bad stuff behind the other cops' backs, and then he looks straight. Look at this. Look at his eyes. He's like, oh, dang, we're being recorded. I better not badmouth my Thin Blue Line buddies. Listen, let's try it again.
They always.
Located the deputy.
Is deputy secure?
They located the deputy. Deputy's secure. He sounds like a train wreck. The deputy sounds like a train wreck, this guy says, and then watch what he says.
Sounds like a train wreck.
They always.
Yeah.
He goes, they always, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're amped up. I get it. He totally changed his tune. Oh my God. There's even betrayal in the thin blue line ranks.
I'm sure they're amped up. I get it.
How do those not have the anti-theft device on
What's
them?
up, Tennessee Accountability?
They do. Yeah, they should all have the anti-theft. Here we are.
Go ahead, where you at?
I'll get my repeater on.
Make sure all over.
Get off the radio.
Isn't that amazing that a fellow Thin Blue Line gang member just said that another Thin Blue Line gang member is always a train wreck, and yet the guy is still in uniform, has a utility belt, has a gun, has the authority of the state, is probably on the Brady list.
No.
Why do they even, have you ever thought about that? Why do they even have a Brady list? It's like this safety net for liars, and the department is admitting that they're liars. They can't take the witness stand because nobody can believe them, but we're going to have them on the force anyway so they can protect and serve the community. Makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, see how they all hate each other? They're all just a bunch of backstabbing psychos, man.
905, 1110, 729 on scene.
Bobby, which way they run?
When I got on scene, Kelly was the only one here.
You want some spray? I would put some on. There's a Forest Service road down here. Do you want to
Exactly,
go down?
Rancho.
Just hop in back, Kyle.
I know, Galaxy, and it's beyond the humor. They are idiots. And these people who don't have, a rational bone in their body, they want you to bow to them because they know they've got the force. They know that you can't do anything. And if you did, they'll deploy that force against you. And if they do something wrong and go outside of even their own policies, procedures, protocols, and even the law of the land, they've got this qualified immunity. They've got the safety net of Terry v. Ohio. They can demand that you get out of the car according to Pennsylvania versus Mims, for officer safety. But then at the same time, they don't want you to get out of the car if they didn't command you to get out of the car, so they want you to stay in the car for officer safety. It's just a bunch of it's a mountain of psychopathic nonsense. And Aloha Brian says, just sending love, been with you since the beginning, and I'm always throwing shade your way. We always go back and forth, but it's in good faith. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, sorry.
What? Oh, you're fine.
I didn't know everybody was in here.
Just scoot over.
Go ahead. Good boy. Being a big boy. Yeah. He's up right here somewhere. He's got his shirt off. He stripped his shirt. I can't figure out how he stripped his shirt.
Phenom says, much love, bro. Shout out to you, Chili, Lackluster, James Freeman, Random Patriot, KCA. That's Kansas City Accountability. Speaking of Random Patriot, man, he is doing some really, really good work over there. He's doing really good on the ground investigative journalism and truly holding cops in his neck of the woods accountable. Put a 1 in the room if you've seen a Random Patriot video in the last week. And also, I encourage you to go back to Delete Law's channel and watch a couple of his last videos because he is kicking some serious A. And I love it anytime somebody drops freedom seeds on the soil of America, so that in the hopes that we can just make people aware enough and awake enough to get ourselves out of this tyranny tunnel that we find ourselves in. Okay, and let me tell you something about flock safety, because we mentioned that a couple minutes ago. It's not just flock safety. There's Motorola, there's Axon. All of these people have their fingers in this surveillance police state control grid pie, and we need to be aware. It's not just flock safety. Yeah, they're insidious, they're bad, they're super evil, but so are these other people who want to keep an eye on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you haven't seen that video that I covered by News Now Ninja, where he actually got the cop just came out and admitted that flock safety 2 or 3 years ago had facial recognition, and the cop called it, oh, that's the good stuff. Saying that flock safety has facial recognition, which means you could be walking on a bridge, you could be walking on a road. If there's a flock security camera and you don't have anything to protect your face, it's got facial recognition. It probably has gait recognition. It recognizes the way you walk. It may now have signal trace technology where if you're carrying a device or even AirPods, it can get the signal that's emitted from that. That's why they call it signal trace, because it grabs that signal and it finds out who it's identified with. If you happen to be in a vehicle, everybody in the vehicle is going to get all of their data scraped and swept up and categorized and cataloged and collated through the Palantir system. This is a panopticon. it is not even slowly anymore. It's just very quickly becoming a panopticon, because if I remember right, about 4 or 5 months ago, there were only about 45 to 55,000 Flock safety cameras installed in the United States. Now it's over. What is it? Somebody go to dflock.org and tell me what the number is. I think it's over 120,000 now.
Wow.
By the way, thank you guys for being here. Thank you to everybody who's hitting that like button and the share button and engaging in the chat.
I should have shot him.
You should have shot him.
Yeah.
I saw him move one time. I never thought there was a chance in the world he'd slip him.
Sure, officer in handcuffs. We sure gotta be. He's driving the vehicle.
I don't know how that happened.
Was he securing the seatbelt?
He was in there like he was supposed to be. I feel right now. You wouldn't be the first person.
Hell no.
Well, I tried to jump in with Bobby. Bobby. I was like on the door handle and Bobby took off. I was screaming. Oh yeah, I was like, oh my God.
It was hitting like 128.
I hit 140.
They're like this guy said, did you hear what the cop just said? Whoa, I missed that the first time. Listen.
Well, I tried to jump in with Bobby. Bobby. I was like on the door handle and Bobby took off. I was screaming.
Oh shoot.
I was like, oh my God.
It was hitting like 128.
I hit 140.
The vehicle's not damaged, right?
128. I hit 140.
80, 90 miles.
I hit 140. One guy brags that he was doing 128. The other guy said he hit 140. Unfrickin' believable. And they're on body cam admitting this stuff.
You dived. I was like, oh. I went to pull my gun. He went like this.
Okay. It's like a bunch of little kids with all these costumes on.
I went cocaine.
Yeah, what's the matter? You 140. They love it. They love the adrenaline. They are truly adrenaline junkies.
Mount your hands up. I'll send the dog. You will be missed. Everybody stay behind me. Yep, no, stay back.
If you want to work towards about the middle of where we left you.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Hey, I'd stay right there. Let him get his thing going. Stay back plenty. That way we can get a good track on him. I don't like getting up in the containment area. Let's stay back.
I heard him hiding up in the brush up here.
Really?
But I didn't want to get in there.
Yeah, sure. No, he's not far. That's precious track as you can get.
Why is he not? He's running. He was still moving.
I know. Hang on. Get close, but not. We don't want to get. Yeah. No, you all are good. No, you all are good. I'm just. Yeah. Hey, Trent went through here. Okay, you gonna swing around? No, you all are good. They're getting up there a little too far.
According to dflock.org, they're up to 125,868, and there are 100 cities who reject LPRs. That's license plate readers. And that could be a rejection, a mass rejection of all LPRs, not just Flock Safety. By the way, the direct competitors in the ALPR space are Axon Enterprise, Motorola Solutions, Recourse Systems, Genentech, Verkada, Plate Smart Technologies, and Sound Thinking, also called Plate Ranger.
Oh, I got you all are good.
Circle around it. Hey, right here. Show me your hand.
Show your hand.
You better not move. You hear me? Do not move. Do not.
Crossfire. I got him.
You're gonna put your hands back. You're gonna roll over right now.
What I like about this guy, okay, maybe he's a scumbag. Maybe he is stealing motorcycles and cars, and he's just a general menace to his community. He can't possibly be more of a menace to his community than the law enforcers. But I still like his spirit and how he treats the cops, even though he's arrested, even though he's detained, even though he's forced to submit. I want you to see this guy's attitude. And I rejoice when I see an attitude that resists the authority, because you can't get worse than the organized crime ring known as the Thin Blue Line gang of law enforcement.
Get out! Let go of the tree!
I'm not holding you.
Tennessee Transparency says, too bad this isn't the start of a real Rambo. Man, even the movies know it. You know, Rambo's just this guy. He's this army vet trying to look up his buddy, finds out his buddy died from, war-related injuries or whatever, passes through town peacefully. He's not bothering anybody. Then the sheriff of the town comes through and just gives Rambo a hard time, and he goes ballistic on him.
Hang on. Slow down. Calm down.
Stand up. Put your feet under and stand up. Damn it!
You're waiting in there.
What?
Put your hands behind your
I'm
back.
not resisting at all.
Bull. You got him?
And my motherfucking
Step out.
Go.
Go.
Super strict as you are. Thank you for being respectful. About to get worse.
He said, "Thank you for being respectful," and the guy goes, "It's about to get worse."
Huh?
I do purchase.
You're gonna do it for a long time, bud. Go police car, bud.
I can get 6.5 years.
How does 20 sound?
Since we've already obviously shown what he's like, let's get a cage car to take him.
Dude, are my pinkies doing a problem to you?
You got the right to remain silent. I'd suggest you use it.
I suggest you shut the f up. I know my rights.
Good.
Did you see? You got a Fifth Amendment. I suggest you use it. And the guy goes, "I suggest you shut the F up." I love it.
Already obviously shown what he's like. Let's get a cage car to take him.
Dude, are my pinkies doing a problem to you?
You got the right to remain silent. I'd suggest you use it.
I suggest you shut the f up. I know my rights.
Good.
Go.
In a sense, I mean, like, I don't like to pick sides and I don't like to pick favorites, but in a sense, the guy's right. I suggest you shut the F up. Okay, if you were to take this right here, the way life really presents itself, who has harmed more people? This guy with his belly hanging out and his shirt off, or these uniformed guys who live every day of their lives terrorizing people in the name of protecting and serving them? That's pretty messed up. I'm here to protect and serve you, ratcheting down the cuffs. I'm here to protect and serve you, breaking the side of the car and pulling somebody out. I'm here to protect and serve you, tackling a Karen Garner, 72 years old, dementia, dislocating her shoulder, breaking her bones, roughing her up, throwing her into a cell, handcuffed, and then mocking her on the outside of her cell. What the heck? Hey, do you think this guy is as bad as these guys? It's kind of like, it's almost like an internal psyop where you're like, yeah, I recognize this dude's bad because I don't want my car. I don't want my motorcycle stolen. I don't want my house broken into. So yeah, he's garbage, but is he really as garbage as the guys who are wearing the costumes?
Go.
I do not understand what jewels and gold coin are. Is that a message from you, or is that some kind of, is that like a gift that, can somebody explain what the jewels and the gold coin stuff is? Thank you, Russell. I don't know what that is, but thank you.
I was grabbing you so I didn't fall.
Earnhard, thank you, man. If you are a Delete Laws follower, put a 1 in the room. If you are subscribed to Delete Laws, put a 1 in the room.
Make sure you got no blood on it. He's bleeding. Had a couple scratches.
Oh, it's like a super chat, but from the mobile app. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Look at all those Delete Laws followers. Delete Laws says, match Earnhardt. Who's going to match me? Thank you, Delete Laws. Thank you, Chili.
What's your name? What was his name?
Chili is a good friend, man. I don't even know how many. I'll go ahead and toot his horn. I don't know how many people he has directly helped get out of prison, get on the straight and narrow, save their lives, actually taking time out of his day to drive across the country to go, deal with issues that people are actually dealing with on the ground, in your face, in the cop's face.
Which one? Stinson Morgan.
I'll catch you again.
I thought I'm doing 20 years.
Caught you the second time? What the third?
You caught me the first time?
Yeah.
4.5 years ago?
Yeah.
You can catch when your ass wouldn't. I know it wouldn't. I know who it was.
He stays belligerent against the police. I love it. He stays in character the entire time. He might be doing a little bit of math. He might be doing math. But you know what? You're free to do that. This is America, gosh darn it. I'd rather a peaceful or dangerous freedom than peaceful slavery. And if he is doing math, if he is doing lines of Coca-Cola, if he is doing something that's, deteriorating his health, he's free to do that. As long as he's not hurting it, as long as he's not stealing to support his habit, as long as he's not harming other people, threatening to harm other people. You can do with your life whatever you want to do with your life. And if somebody interferes, then they are the ones perpetrating violence on you.
Or you want to put those on and I'll put mine?
Yeah, I bet you will.
I know it. You can make it crazy. For sure.
Where's your shoes?
It's fine though. What county am I going to?
Butler.
Let's see if does John come on here? I don't know if police officer John comes on here.
I hate that. Keep the camera on him so he won't try to say we done something. I don't know.
Yeah, he wasn't ever trying to hurt you, but he kept looking at your cap going, clack, clack, clack. I'm like, hey.
The suspect, identified as 38-year-old Andrew Delcamp, has an extensive criminal history in Missouri, with criminal cases dating back to 2017.
Now, I don't ever believe just because a cop has a criminal record on you, just because you have charges doesn't mean
Andrew
you actually,
Delcamp.
even if you get convicted, doesn't mean you actually did the
Has
crime.
an extensive criminal
Now,
history in Missouri.
this guy right here probably did do the crime. I mean, he probably knew he was being recorded, and he still stole a cop car anyway. Apparently, he stole that guy's motorcycle. What does this say right here? Case number. Let's see. Defendant. Criminal in fact, it says. Doesn't say what the actual crime was.
Missouri, with criminal cases dating back to 2017. According to court records, he previously pleaded guilty to second-degree burglary in 2019 and was sentenced to 7 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections. For this case, Andrew pleaded guilty in 2 separate Butler County felony cases on February 25th, 2025. He pleaded.
If this is true, he's a bad dude. If this is true, he's a menace to whatever community he's in.
Guilty to first-degree tampering with a motor vehicle, resisting arrest by fleeing while creating a substantial.
But he has never done anything worse, anything close to being as bad as what the thin blue line law enforcers do.
Risk of serious injury or death and second-degree burglary. He was sentenced to 7 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections for tampering with a motor vehicle and 2 years for resisting arrest, with the sentences ordered to run back to back. He received an additional 7 years for second-degree burglary, which was added to the previous sentence. In total, Andrew was sentenced to 16 years in prison, just 4 years shy of.
How does 20 sound?
Yay, now we get to support him for the next 16 to 20 years. Isn't that great? What a great system that we have here. Let's see. Virtual says, I'll match a chili. Also, I'm starting my police accountability backup channel. All right. That's good. The more, the merrier. And we got a new member. It's Joshua. Welcome, Joshua. And then I missed another super chat right here from Rancho Relaxo. Thank you for your hard work and great content, Brian. Thank you for being here. Let me just real quick before I forget, I'm not ending the stream right now. I just want to make sure I give everybody a shout out. Delete Laws in with the first super chat here. And then you got Selwindon. I always mess your name up, man. How do I say that? Selwindon. Mama Rages with the jewels. Mama Rages again. Selwindon has been a member for 27 months. Jay Lobo gifted 50 Here's the Deal memberships. Aloha Brian. Phenom Rogue. Got Russell with the jewels. Not sure how the jewels work. Earnhardt. Life Under the Mic. Delete Laws again. Life Under the Mic again and again. And the virtual VA Outlaw. Thank you, man. The wise words of Otto the Watchdog. S is fucked up and stuff. Well, I didn't even say the S word, but I did say the F word. That's good job, Brian. Good job. Life Under the Mic again. And Rancho Relaxo. Josh. Chris with the super sticker. And Michael Jordan gifted one Here's the Deal membership. Who ended up getting that? Appreciate you guys being here. Hey, I wanted to show you one more thing before we go. And that is, let me go to the very bottom here. That is this right here. Arizona man paralyzed after alleged swatting call at his home. Now, the thing about this is the guy who ended up getting swatted and paralyzed by the SWAT guys had already called dispatch to say, you're probably going to get a call. Somebody hates me, and they're probably going to say something bad to get armed gunmen to come to my house. And guess what? They go, hey, don't worry about it. We'll take care of that. If it happens, don't worry. We're not going to send a SWAT team to your house. Well, guess what? they reneged on their word. Watch this.
Yeah, that's right. Now, they filed a notice of claim, and in Arizona, you have to file this notice and give the department 60 days to respond before filing that lawsuit. Now, this all stems, though, from a fake 911 call known as swatting. Now, this 24-year-old...
Now, last time I had a live stream, I asked you to put a 1 in the room if you had ever been swatted, and I was astonished at how many people in the room had been swatted. So let's try it again. If you have ever been swatted by the cops, in other words, somebody called and said, oh, there's some heinous crime going on at this location. They give the address, and then the cops show up and you get swatted, put a 1 in the room if that happened to you.
Year-old's life has changed forever. His attorney and a retired FBI agent saying this was all preventable. You're told from a young age.
Believing in the system.
Wait, if you've been FBI rated, you were swatted. It doesn't have to be a SWAT team. All it has to do is just a bunch of armed men in uniform showing up at your house. Even if whether they're inside or outside, you're surrounded by a bunch of armed men because of a call they got saying there's something bad happening in here and something needs to happen. If FBI agents came to your house, you've been swatted.
We want to be able to go to them for protection.
If you're in trouble.
I just can't believe, I'm going to play this over, but I cannot believe how many people. Should we do a dedicated show of people who've been swatted? We'll just call it the I've been swatted call-in show.
Call the police. And that's what 24
Okay, I'm going to go back because listen to what they say.
Forever. His attorney and a retired FBI agent saying this was all preventable. You're told from a young age.
Believing in the system.
We want to be able to go to them for protection.
If you're in trouble. Call the police. And that's what 24-year-old Axel Melendez did on April 8th.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Axel is a video gamer. He had been hacked.
Melendez's attorney, Dave Sethi, says Axel called 911 saying he could soon be a victim of swatting, blackmailed by a stranger overseas for money.
So he warned them in advance before the actual swatting call happened and was assured, don't worry, if we get a call like that, we'll already know. We got it written down. Nothing's going to happen. The call came in. They did the exact opposite of what they said they were going to do.
That they're going to call like the station and say that I have a bomb and stuff and come to my address and stuff like that.
The police tell him, don't worry about it.
No, it's okay, but they can't, like, nothing's going to happen.
And 2 days.
Nothing's going to happen. It's like a cop going, hey, you're not in trouble. Hang tight. I'll be right back. You're not in trouble. If you ever hear especially a state trooper, if you ever hear a state trooper say that, you are absolutely in trouble. The cuffs will be super tight and you're going to go to jail.
Later.
Hey, is this Axel?
Yes.
Hi, okay, you said that your father shot your sister?
At 5:40 in the morning, a 911 call from someone posing as Axel Melendez reporting an active shooting. Pima County Sheriff's deputies arrived at the Melendez house, thinking a girl had been shot.
Axel is justifiably relying on the promises that the police gave to him.
In this body camera video from that response, a deputy breaks a back window into Axel's room. You can hear Melendez in the video screaming for help. His mother also inside the home calling 911, the two not knowing who was breaking in.
Think about what you could do to make sure this didn't happen. It's like they have the inability, the profound inability to use their brains when they enter somebody's house or when they think about entering somebody's house. They automatically go to deadly force. If somebody comes in, first of all, how about announce yourself would be a great idea, right? Put the light on yourself and say, hey, we really are the SWAT team. We really got a call and we need to know what's going on. Call this number right here. If you can hear us with this bullhorn, call this number right here. Prove to us that you're the person inside this house and show us what's going on. Maybe come out with your hands up or whatever, but it doesn't have to be like this right here. If you don't announce yourself, you can expect somebody to defend their house. And that's exactly what this guy did. And now he's paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of his life as a young person.
He gets his.
A deputy breaks a back window into Axel's room.
Did you announce your? Let's see. I missed that.
On the promises that the police gave to him.
In this body camera video from that response,
I urge everyone, if you want to live, because they are looking, they are on an adrenaline rush. They're probably on roids. There's probably some other drugs in their system. And I'm talking about the law enforcers. You want to make it if anything like this happens right here, and you're surrounded by 10 psychopathic state-funded gunmen, it'd probably be a good idea to be as transparent as you possibly can. Make sure your hands are shown at all times. But even then, I think of Daniel Shaver. I think of Johnny Hurley. I think of Philando Castile. They did absolutely nothing wrong. Daniel Shaver was trying his best to obey every single rapid fire command from Philip Brailsford from the Mesa Police Department, and he still got executed at that La Quinta Inn. It's almost like it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. I did everything right, but they still tased me. It's almost like this is kind of a suffocating situation.
a deputy breaks a back window into Axel's room.
Yeah, comply so you don't die, but then there's Daniel Shaver. Then there's Philando Castile. Then there's James Boyd. James Boyd is like, he's just a homeless man out in the middle of nowhere, and they still killed him. Johnny Hurley just saved the entire Arvada Police Department. He was not the threat at all. But because he was taking the gun off the gunman who was gunning for the Arvada Police Department, the cowards in the Arvada Police Department came and shot him in the back. Now Johnny Hurley's dead. The true hero who arrived on the scene. It's just crazy.
You can hear Melendez in the video screaming for help.
Jeez.
His mother also inside the home calling 911, the two not knowing who was breaking in.
And he gets his family's legal registered handgun and he cowers behind a door hiding.
You can see Melendez hiding in the
There he is right there. Look at that.
closet, not pointing the gun at the deputies, but that's followed by multiple shots.
I walked towards my son. He was on the floor. I walked towards him. He said, "I love you, Mom."
His mother, Carmen, watched as her son bled on the floor.
Axel did everything right. Less than 2 days later, they show up and betray every promise they made to him.
The bullet struck various parts of Melendez's body, leaving him paralyzed from the chest down with a T4.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. His life is forever changed because the cops couldn't identify them. So one of the simplest things that they could have done. Thank you. Thank you, Virtual. My new channel is Do Not Operator instead of Donut Operator. First video to be posted at 12 a.m. Eastern. Thanks, man.
Spinal cord injury.
Look at this guy. Just this drives me crazy, man. I'm not seeing protect and serve right here. I am not seeing protect and serve.
Unable to walk.
At the end of the day, the ultimate responsibility is by the criminal who swatted the victim. But law enforcement has to rise to the call and look at crime is changing.
John Yanarelli, a retired FBI special agent, says from the current information, there was a misstep. And as swatting calls become more and more frequent, responding law enforcement needs to take the minute to think before reacting.
You think? I mean, think about it. Okay. First of all, number one, do we have the right address? Number two, is there any call log where this person indicated that they might be a streamer, that they may have enemies, that somebody could actually pull this shenanigans on them? There's so many questions they could ask before they even showed up. And then when they show up, there should be 2 or 3 things that they have to go through to ensure that no innocent person gets harmed. Is it really that hard?
And to check to see if this is a known swatting target. A life lesson you learn from a young age.
We tell our kids, find the helpers in your community.
Melendez now regrets putting to use.
Okay, so Axel and his mother are asking for a total of $320 million from Pima County Sheriff's Department and also Pima County. Now, right now, the county and the Sheriff's Department have 60 days to respond to this. We have reached out to the Sheriff's Department today and his office, and they said right now the sheriff does not comment on pending litigation.
Jeez, man. Somebody says APD killed a great grandmother in her own home and attempted to frame her afterwards. I'll have to look that up. Now, Baxter said I need to cover Long Island Audit, and I'm on Long Island Audit's page right here, and I do not see a video where is it this one? Is there anywhere where he talks about it? Let's see his posts. They deleted this, now restored 3 hours ago. Let's see. Officer called me an idiot. Let's see. That was a day ago. When did Long Island Audit get arrested? Does anybody know? Number one, when did he get arrested? Did he do a video on it? Baxter says that he was in jail for 7 hours and was released. Let's see. So his last video is this one right here.
I know you.
You know me?
Long Island Auditor, man. I watch your stuff.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
You do good work.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Really?
My name's Sean, yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I record the police.
It's crazy how you were just here.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was taken down already? Wait, why is this pausing? What's up with this?
I know you.
You know me?
Long Island Auditor, man. I watch your stuff.
Not that one? Wait, which one is it? He was actually in holding for 7 hours. They never booked him in. Okay, so if it's not on his posts, let's go back. Let's just open a new tab. Okay, if it's not, is it this one? 3 hours ago? Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. Do recent videos? That was the very recent video, is the last one. I need some guidance, guys, because this is the first I've heard of it, so I'm kind of walking in the dark here. If you want to give me some direction on where... Oh, it's a couple of weeks ago. Police union president. Okay, Bacchus Mill. Okay, what am I missing? It's embarrassing stumbling around. Was it the police union audit? I was under the impression this just happened. So this didn't just happen, or it did? Never before seen this one right here of my unlawful arrest. He went to the union. He's walking backwards in the thumbnail. It's got to be this one then.
How do I lie to my viewers? You rely on their ignorance. How do I lie? Specifically. Right. To put out absolute nonsense.
That's part of it. Okay, tell you what, let me, because I don't want to waste anybody's time, and there's a couple people in here. As someone who went to these, the police can't always announce if a call is real. Announcing yourselves gives up the surprise and risks even more lives. So that's a good thing to think about. Yeah, see, that's what I like, man. The first to present his case seems right until another comes forward and questions him. I love that. And I am definitely of the opinion of none of us is greater than all of us. What I may think can be easily challenged by something that I didn't think of. So yeah, that's an interesting point. Are we on Disturbing Illusion, or I thought I went live on, pretty sure I went live on, am I live on Disturbing Illusion? I have no idea. I thought it was just Here's the Deal. That's a good thought. I would like to think more about that. It makes sense though. You don't want to give up the element of surprise if somebody really is in that house shooting innocent people or holding them hostage. What's up, South Bama? I'll have to look more into the Long Island audit thing. I was under the impression what Baxter Bill was saying was that it just happened recently. Let's see here. Yeah, Pablo, he's not doing real good. And the thing that me and Trish struggle with is sometimes Dakota, he'll be acting like a puppy, and it's like, oh, look, he's all right. 2 minutes later, he's on the floor and he can't get up. I think it's something with his hips because when I touch the side of his hips, especially on his right side, it's super tender. So it must be in his bones. He's old. He's like 18 years old, maybe 17. Let's see. You know, it's life. Life goes on, huh? But yeah, it's very sad to watch something that you love so much go downhill like that. Yeah, but you know what? He's at the end of life, life under the mic, and I'm going to give him whatever he wants. If he loves it, he's going to get it because, you know, this is pretty much the end. Yeah, he's just super old, Den, and I want him to live a really like in his closing days. It's like I understand that's bad for him, but he I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It messes with your mind. I know. I know. You're so right, man. Yeah, death does suck. It does suck. Love my pupper, says Chris. Yeah, we've done that. And he's super fit. Somebody said about the raw diet. Oh, I'm live on Disturbing Illusion? No way. How did I do that? That was totally an accident. Let's see. I did not mean to go live on Disturbing Illusion. Let me see. Content live. You are absolutely right. I am live on that. I am live on that. Well, welcome to the Disturbing Illusion. And here's the deal. By the way, if you're on Disturbing Illusion, I have another channel. It's my police accountability channel exclusively for police accountability. It's called Here's the Deal. If you're on Here's the Deal, I have a political channel that goes beyond the law enforcement class and dips into the political class and exposing the left versus right paradigm like called The Disturbing Illusion. And then I have another channel that I upload on called High Impact Vlogs. And then there's another channel called High Impact TV. But, you know, I'll try to leave all those links in the description for you, but I'd appreciate it if you guys want to subscribe to those and watch a couple of the videos. What I would ask you to do, if you're not familiar with my Disturbing Illusion channel, which is, let me just go to my last video. Oh, let me just bring it up right here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. What I would like you to do, and this is pretty important. I can't believe I'm live on that. That's so weird. I think one of the worst things about being in the cult, I'm going to give you this link right here in the chat. If you haven't seen this, I would ask you to take a look at it because a lot of people like Joe Rogan. And this really, really thoroughly exposes his hypocrisy and the fact that he is truly, truly in the big club. And I would just exhort any of you to unplug from the cult of personality. It is so easy to follow a personality. And then when you start following a personality, people start letting go and walking away from the principles if they even had principles. I personally think that if a person has standards, if he has principles, if he truly loves and holds fast to the things that are true and exposes lies, then it's not as easy to get involved in the cult of personality. But as soon as you're in that cult, and Joe Rogan is in a cult of personality. It's the Donald Trump administration. He's been welcomed into the big club. And when you're in the big club, one of the first things you do is you lose your individuality to the group. You don't want to make any waves. You don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to be critical of them as you would be critical of a Nancy Pelosi. I call her Nazi Pelosi, or a Bernie Sanders or whoever. And all the political parasites, whether they're Republican or Democrat, are your enemies. If they weren't your enemies, we wouldn't have something called a Patriot Act. If all the political parasitic puppets, Republican or Democrat, weren't your enemies, we wouldn't be $40 trillion in debt. If they weren't your enemies, we wouldn't have a devalued dollar that hinges on the petrodollar Ponzi scheme. So that's what the Disturbing Illusion channel is about, because we got to really get our heads out of the sand and out of our arses, put down the Kool-Aid and realize, hey, we've all been lied to. You've been lied to by Donald Trump, Donald Zio, Miriam Adelson Trump. We've been lied to by Joe Zio Biden, who claims that he's a Zionist. We've been lied to by Barack Obama. You've been lied, and they're just puppets. They're just puppets who happen to be pushing a pen auto pen or otherwise, behind the desk Resolute at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And you've got all these guys who have sold their souls. If you are a president of the United States, you don't give a damn about the people. As a matter of fact, we, the people of the United States, it's all an illusion. It's like, oh, the American people voted Donald Trump in. Really? Well, there's like 80 million people who voted that didn't vote for Donald Trump. And besides that, what about all the people who don't vote, period? They just want to be left alone. Don't make policies, don't make rules, don't make ordinances, don't pass an executive order, don't do some kind of legislative edict kind of thing. I just want to be left alone. Do not take my money. Don't tamper with the value of my money. Leave my family alone. Let me just be free to do whatever I want to do. Do you realize that we could do one thing in America and we could solve world hunger, and we could completely wipe out the national debt if we just did this one thing? And every single law that has anything to do with the drug war. Have what you want, possess what you want, sell what you want, buy what you want, and grow what you want. And if we grew hemp fields all over the United States, do you realize how nutritious hemp is? You could feed the world with hemp. You could clothe the world with hemp. You could fuel the world with hemp. You can heal the land with hemp. Just look at all of there's like 50,000 uses for hemp. And yet, what does the United States do? What does the United States government do? What do governments around the world do? They make the most beneficial plant known to mankind. You can wipe out the big pharma industrial complex, paper supplies. You could have toilet paper. The pulp is so dense and rich and durable. You could solve pretty much all the world's economic problems just by growing hemp. It's fast growing when it puts down its roots, and when it rots after the crop has been yielded, it's really, really good for the soil. You don't have to rotate the crop as much as you do with regular crops. It doesn't need the pesticides that you need for other things. You can use it for food, clothing, fuel. Ford used it for his vehicles at one time. But no, what does the government do? They make it illegal. And if they make something illegal, they criminalize people who want to grow it. They criminalize people who want to buy it, who want to sell it. And as far as the medicinal purposes, I don't personally take it, but I don't care if you do. You just live and let live. Unbelievable how much the government hates you. And no matter how conspiracy minded or paranoid you might be, what the government is doing is far worse than you can possibly imagine. And it's not just a cliche. That's not just a quote by William Blum. That is absolutely true. You want to find out how much the government hates you? Find out what they will penalize you for if you end up doing it. All you have to do is take a page out of the 1920 through 1933 Prohibition. They created a situation where they criminalized every person in America who possessed a bottle of, say, whiskey in their cabinet. You became a criminal in the eyes of the state just by buying, selling, possessing, distilling. And then they created bathtub gin, which in the course of that 13 years killed about 10,000 people. The government directly killed 10,000 people by poisoning the alcohol that people were buying. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Feed the world. You can feed the world, you can clothe the world, and you can fuel the world with hemp. And they just won't back off on it. And I'm not saying make it legal. I'm saying end every law that has to do with it, which means, if you can call it decriminalization or whatever, but it's just leave it alone. Leave it alone. You have no business in hemp. None. Or any other drug for that matter. It's crazy, man. We live in just an insane world. If anybody disagrees with anything that I just said, put a 2 in the room. And maybe we'll open it up to discussion one day, but that's an hour and 18 minutes right now. And it is here in Maine. I love that about my state, Brian. You mean you can grow as much as you want in your yard in Maine? Like it's completely, government is completely, state, federal, and local government is completely hands off of any growing of that in Maine. I was not aware of that. That was a reality in any state. Just thinking about the drug war, which isn't a war on drugs, it's a war on people, raises my blood pressure. No, I'm not saying that, but it is decriminalized recreational medical. No cops around here mess around with marijuana grows unless it's an industrial scale. Remember Sled from South Carolina? Remember that guy grew a $2 million crop? He had all the permits, which is ridiculous that you have to have a permit to grow one of the most beneficial plants known to mankind. And then they came in, they arrested the guy. Jody Barr did an investigative report on it, and they arrested the guy, and then they destroyed the entire crop. That's government in a nutshell. Just wasting, halting progress, fining people, criminalizing innocent people. In Nevada, Dan says, in Nevada, you can grow only 3 plants, but you can't grow if you're 3 miles from a... Wow. I watch all the time. Love the vids. Sylvia, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. I always forget to ask people to do that. Near Seattle, you can grow it? Didn't know that. Is Seattle burning? Is there something going on in Seattle? I think I saw a news report where Seattle, something bad is happening in Seattle. I was on the other channel. He kept mentioning you, so I came to this channel. Appreciate you being here. Let us see. You can grow 12 inside in New Jersey. Really? Hey, what's up, Sinful? Your money isn't the only thing they want from you. It's time, energy. Well, think about it. Your money is just a representation. All this is like, and people recognize it without really formulating a thought about it. But, you know, we call this money, but it's really just currency. Real money is actually a store of value. This isn't a store of value because as I hold this in my hand, if they print more, then the people who get to spend the money first get the full value, the full current value of it. And then when it trickles down to us, it loses its value because inflation takes over, and inflation is the hidden tax. But if you take a look at this right here, this is just a representation of the time and labor that it took you to produce this. Somebody didn't just give you this, or at least, I mean, they could have, but typically you have to work for it. So it represents the time it took and the labor in that bracket of time. And then they said, hey, if you do this amount of work for me and spend this amount of time on this thing, I will give you $10. And then they give you the $10. So it's just a representation. It's the product of your time and laboring energy. So when the psychopathic parasites of Washington's District of Criminals make a law that makes things more expensive, prices go up, which means your dollar is being devalued, they're actually siphoning away the product of your time and laboring energies, which means that whoever issues these notes is the true king of the land, is the true king of the earth. And it's not the president of the United States. It's the people who own the treasury. It's the people who own the Federal Reserve, Zio International Banking Cartel. And that's the root of the tree, guys. If you take away the people, Amschel Rothschild said, give me a control over a nation's money and I care not who makes its laws. If you take the axe to the root of that tree and you institute a sound money system, you constrain the spending. You won't have the money for wars unless you have credit. You won't have the money for the prison industrial complex and the military industrial complex and the big pharma industrial complex and $174,000 for every base congressman and senator and $450,000 for the president of the United States. And you won't have all of these entitlements and giveaways. Like one of the biggest welfare queens in the land, I know a lot of people are going to want to hear this, is Elon Musk. Like $38 billion was given to him for Tesla and SpaceX and all the other projects, the boring project that he has. And entitlements and subsidies are only made possible through credit. Because if you had an honest money system and an honest accounting system for that honest money system, you couldn't possibly be waging war with Iran right now. You couldn't possibly give $3.9 billion in military hardware away to ISRA HE double hockey sticks. You can't do it without cheap, easy credit. Because if you had a sound money system based on the sound accounting system, they have to be constrained. But as Amschel Rothschilds from the Rothschilds banking cartel said, give me control over a nation's money. I don't give a damn who makes its laws. I don't care if you're a congressman, a senator, a governor, or even the president of the United States. I don't give a damn. I control you because you work for this. And if you, president of the United States, work for this right here, and I own this right here, then I own you and I own the value of your time and labor. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's not Democrats and Republicans. They're just an outgrowth. They're just like basically the wart on the face. But there's a root in that wart inside the face. That's what you got to attack. And then when you take care of that, you don't have the wart on the outside of the face. People don't understand that. And it's a very simple concept. I'm not a complex man. I'm not a super highly intelligent, gifted individual, but it's a very simple concept. You own this right here. You own everything because everybody's working for this. The Grant Cardones, the PBD podcasts, the presidents of the United States, even kings and queens in foreign lands have an interest in making sure the dollar stays stabilized. That's why when Nixon closed the gold window in 1971, they had to pivot to something because there had to be something that supported this to make sure that we kept the Ponzi scheme going. This is a confidence game. And the only reason people are using this is they're confident in the security of the United States. And the only thing that's making it secure is it's backed by oil. A lot of nations still have to purchase dollars to buy oil. Oil makes their economy move. If they don't buy the oil, their economy stalls and they're dead in the water. So what do they have to do to get that oil? They have to purchase these. So now there's an artificial demand for these. And as long as there's a demand for US dollars, which is still the reserve currency, I mean, it's teetering on the edge right now, and they're looking for alternate means. With, the BRIC nations are trying to pull away from all this. China's trying to look for alternate currency means. So then they're trying to work with Russia. And I think that's what this whole Iran thing is all about, to destabilize the dollar. But as long as all those nations still have that demand, there's this demand, we need that dollar because we got to get that oil, then this will stay valuable in the minds of people. Otherwise, this is completely worthless. But it is backed by something. It's backed by oil, and there is an artificial demand that was created by the Federal Reserve. Matching Chili from earlier. Thanks for your knowledge and opinions, Brian. It's very appreciated. Thanks, Rats. That was weird saying that. Thanks, Rats. BRICS is BS. Well, of course it is. Yeah, it is. But it still exists, and they still want to create their alternative currency platforms. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I mean, a lot of people are saying Bitcoin was created by, shadow elites in the government to create a system where we have a digitized currency. Now, that's another thing. As bad as currency is, as bad as fiat currency is, cash needs to stay king, because this can't be, at least as far as I know, this cannot be surveilled. But if we go digital, if we go to the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, now we got a whole new world of problems. If we go to CBDCs and they phase out the dollar, now you can't even go to a yard sale and buy a toothpick without them knowing where you were, who you bought it from, what item you got. Everything will be in a ledger. You don't want that. That is complete slavery. That is a nightmare scenario that none of us wants. None of us. And I'm telling you, there is a large percentage of Americans who have no idea of any of what I just said. If you ask them what the most powerful entity, let's just forget about the world, in the United States, what is the most powerful entity, the most powerful organization in the world? They would probably say Apple, Google, the most powerful entity, I don't know, the US government. No, none of those. The most powerful entity in the world is more powerful than the US government. They rule kings, they control governments, they steer militaries, they fund both sides of all wars. Every war is a bankster war, because they're gangsters, they're banking gangsters. I call them banksters. It's the Federal Reserve. It's the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, who's the central bank of central banks. Those are the guys who run the show. Now we got a strong competitor coming up with AI. If AI becomes self-aware and we get beyond AGI, artificial general intelligence, and we end up into super intelligence, well, they're going to control the monetary system and the digital banking and the CBC, central bank digital currencies and all that kind of stuff. And they're going to work human beings out of the equation. That's how scary that's getting. We got a very interesting next 3 years, 4 years coming up, because a lot of people are saying by 2029, it's going to be a complete takeover. Now, I don't know if I entirely believe that. I don't want to believe that. Yeah, universal basic income, or UMI, universal maximum income, they're talking about. And this is worse than Skynet. This is far worse than Skynet. We'll be looking back at Terminator going, God, I wish it was like that. I wish it was just a metal robot marching down the street. At least we could do something. It's going to be way worse than that. They're going to have control over your bank account, over your social media, whether you have access to the internet. They're going to have access to your social credit score. They're going to plug it into the ALPRs. Just the ALPRs, the automatic license plate readers alone, are off the charts scary. The amount of information they can scrape from you just from your ALPR. And if we see it used like we're seeing it used in Arkansas, remember that Arkansas state trooper who said that he knew exactly when the guy rented the car from California and then left California and entered Arizona and left Arizona and entered New Mexico and left New Mexico and entered Texas and left Texas and entered Oklahoma and then entered Arkansas? And he's like, yeah, you were here at this time. I was wondering why it took you so long to get through New Mexico. I was wondering why it took you so long to get through Oklahoma. They were tracking him the entire way. They had timestamps when he entered, exited, where he stopped. They probably have information of what he purchased, what gas station he went to. Did he buy a hot dog or the hard-boiled egg? We're it already is all digital, Brian. Only 10% of your deposit is in the actual bank. Go withdraw your money at one time and watch what the bank does. Yeah, that he's referring to fractional reserve banking. For years, decades and decades, we've operated under the fractional reserve banking system, which means the bank is only required. Let's say you have $100,000 in the bank. They're only required to have 10,000 of your dollars on hand at any one time. Now, if 10 of you have $100,000 in the bank, that's $100,000 for all 10 of you, even though that represents $1 million worth of wealth. But if you all 10 go in there to extract all your money, they're not going to give it to you because they don't have the cash on hand. It's going to take them a couple days, maybe a couple weeks. Maybe this will result in a bank run and they'll just shut it all together and you're not even going to get your money. Yeah, so I agree. It's mostly all digital right now and has been for quite some time. And we're basically like the frog boiling in the water, guys. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I don't want to be the black pillar or the doomer and gloomer, but we gotta figure out alternate ways to get through this life. I do want to be free, and I know I'm not. I do want to be a free man, and I know I'm a slave. I mean, we're on the internet. We're slaves. We're slaves to the system. They can cut off our access. What would you do? What would you do if you lost all of your access to all your banking information, your access to the internet? You wouldn't be able to pay your bills. What happens when you step out of line or you say something online or you say something on a text privately to a friend and they intercept that and they're like, oh, you know what? We're not going to let you have access to electricity for the next 2 or 3 days. You can go ahead and swelter in the heat. You can go ahead and freeze in the winter. Yeah, we are. We are. If you say that you are not a slave, if you say that, no, I'm 100% off grid, nobody is 100% off grid. Nobody. Not even those people that live on the that island with no electricity, no running water, no conveniences of any kind. that are extremely upset when anybody gets near their island. They are not off the grid. They're being spied on, surveilled, the satellites overhead. There's no telling what kind of technology those satellites have. The government has already admitted to the God, it's slipped my mind. The directed energy weapons. That's crazy technology. We've already, they've already had active denial, the active denial system for what, 15 years? Active denial sends this pulse of, I can't remember what kind of ray it is. It's like 5G. It's like a microwave that from 1,000 yards away has this burst of heat that penetrates just the very top surface of your skin and excites all of your nerves and causes great pain. And it's supposed to be for crowd dispersal, and people just back up. They already have these noise cannons that even if you have your ears plugged, it goes inside of you and it can just rupture your eardrums. There's no telling what kind of technology that they can unleash against us at any time. If you think you're free, you're absolutely not free. You're as free as the most powerful person in your zone of influence wants you to be. They can boil you like water. Yep. And people wonder why people like Marvin Haymeyer go out to their welder and start putting plate metal on a bulldozer they just bought. Just bulldoze the town down. It's like the government drives you to do that kind of stuff. But now at the same time, live like there's no tomorrow. Because for you and I, there may be no tomorrow. Just live free. Even though we're not, I'm not saying pretend. I'm not saying pretend like you're free. Just live free. That way, when they come and take us away, because it's probably going to happen. I hate to say it. It's probably going to happen. AI, once it becomes really, really super intelligent and super aware, it's not going to need us. When it can get to a point where it can generate its own power, implement its own systems, build its own robotic technology so it can actually have a physical way to get from one location to another, it's pretty much going to all be over for the human race. They might keep a couple of useful idiots around, but it may be this kind of matrix kind of situation. It's just really, really weird time. So on a positive note, before I leave, just live free. Love like there's no tomorrow. Be compassionate. If there's anybody in your family who, the bridge has been destroyed, if you feel like it, if you think it's worth it, or even if you don't, make an attempt to try to repair that bridge. And if they don't want to do it, hey, at least it's not on you. The most comfortable pillow you will ever own is a clear and clean conscience. Hey, I didn't harm any. Not only did I not, it's not even about not harming. Not only did I not harm anybody, I tried to make my little dinky sliver of the universe a really good place. And I tried to fill it with really, really good people. And I tried to influence people positively so that when I'm gone, and I will be gone one day, people will maybe be inspired by this person who used to inhabit the body of Brian Young, or, fill in the blank with your name. Inspire. Don't be proud. Don't be greedy. Like give. Like this stuff right here, it's so vaporous, man. It's gone like that. You're gone like that. I'm going to be gone. Think about it. We're so weak. You wake up at 2:00 in the morning to go to the bathroom and you stub your toe. We're weak. And yet at the same time, we're strong and resilient. We're less than tiny, even the entire earth. If it's true that there is this universe and you could back up like with the Hubble telescope, if all that stuff's true, I don't even know. People are like flat earth, Brian, you can't get out that far in space. Okay. But if you could, let's just say we are little bitty specks in the universe. I mean, the entire globe, let alone just you, or less than a grain of sand on the seashore. That's kind of a freeing thought. Am I really that insignificant? That's pretty freeing. That means all of us are insignificant and all of us together are super insignificant. And yet we can do some pretty darn significant things, or at least it seems like we can. We can impact, one person can impact so many people in a positive way, just like one person can impact so many negative people and in just a very profound way. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, how many people did he kill? Like 17, 20? Ted Bundy, possibly 100 women. John Wayne Gacy did so many bad things. Stalin, the gulags, the 18 million people that supposedly died in the gulag, if that part of history is true. Then on the other side of it, look how many people you can really practically inspire to do great things and to be great people themselves. That's why one of the best things that ever happens, I think, to a human being is to create another human being. How miraculous is that? You got this little baby boy or this little baby girl that has your genetic code inside them, and then you get to raise them up to be good people, to do more good things and basically duplicate your character in them. I know there's a lot of bad characters out there. There's a lot of bad parents that neglect and abuse their kids and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about the truly good parents who, when Mother's Day or Father's Day comes around, those mothers and those fathers really deserve to be honored because they really, really did right by their kids. And by doing right by their kids, I'm not saying they gave them everything they ever wanted, because that's pretty destructive when you do that to a kid. But you taught them discipline, and you taught them patience, and you taught them love, joy, peace, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, stuff that most people lack in this day and age. They just want another drink and want to escape from it all. Put another video on. Let's watch another movie. Let's just escape from this horrible reality that we're forced into, that we never asked for. I don't know. I didn't mean to say this kind of stuff, but I think about stuff like this all the time because I'm like, okay, let's say Skynet does take over. Let's say the machines do just try to overrun us. It's kind of a so what? I mean, you could freak out about it. And it is like if they came to your door right now and started like holding your head under the water and you're suffocating, you're drowning, you want to live. And it's kind of scary at that moment. But it's also kind of just a so what? When you zoom out and you look at the big picture, it's like, I am so insignificant, but I can make such a big impact. What is money? Why do I need extra cars and lands? And why does somebody who makes $250 million want more and more and more, let alone $1 billion or 10 billion or what's that guy, Bezos? What's he worth? Like $190 billion now. Elon Musk supposedly is worth $1 trillion and it fluctuates, but so what? So he's just a human being. It's like we all put our pants on at the same time. We all bleed red. We're all going to die someday. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'm just jabbering. Yeah, that's another thing too. I have so many questions about. I mean, people call me of the devil because I don't subscribe to their religion or whatever. And I'm like, gosh, that's a little harsh. It's a little drastic. But then I'm thinking, okay, Brian, come to God, come to Jesus. And I'm like, okay, but like the Muslims tell me, come to Allah. And the Buddhists go, you don't need that stuff. Just enter nirvana or meditation, a meditative state. And the Jehovah's Witnesses are like, no, we're the only ones. And the Mormons are like, no, we're the only ones. And then within the body of Christianity, there's the Church of Christ. And they're like, the Baptists are absolutely going to hell. And the Baptists are like, the Church of Christ, they're not even saved because they believe to get saved, you have to be baptized. And then you got the Catholics going, no, we're the only church and you need to be worshiping Mary. So when people are like, turn to God, I'm like, which one? That's so confusing. Because everybody who's got God, I mean, that like are really believing the Bible, or they think they are, they always got some word of condemnation for people who aren't in their group. So I'm like, I truly do not know. I don't know. And I don't know if Jesus really existed, I know what the King James Bible says, but what happened before 1611, And even if it was written like in 100 AD or 50 years after Jesus supposedly died, how do you trust that? I don't even trust the evening news. And it's supposedly this event just happened a couple hours ago. But I'm supposed to believe something from like 2,000 years ago? And then they're like, no, you got to slaughter the lamb. No, the only way you can be saved is if this guy right here, this one guy got slaughtered and spilled his blood. It's like, we're talking human sacrifice. And then you get the Catholics with transubstantiation. It's like, you mean and they describe transubstantiation as no, the bread actually becomes the flesh of Christ and the wine actually becomes the blood of Christ. And you're like, so you're cannibals. No, we're not cannibals. You just said that you're eating the flesh and drinking the blood of a man. That's cannibalism. I mean, even if it isn't practically cannibalism because you're not actually eating flesh or drinking blood, you believe you are, and that's cannibalism. So it's just crazy, man. The Catholics say if you don't worship Mary, you're anathema. If you don't pray the rosary, you're anathema. I don't even know. Yeah. And what is spirituality? I'm just like, just be honest. Like, just be honest with how you feel. Don't let somebody railroad you into some religion or some political movement or some personality, because that's where you can go astray really, really quick. My dad just started going to, oh, wait, what does it say? My dad just started going to church. He said they only speak of Jesus and not God. So confusing. Yeah, I just don't get that. Yeah, there you go. How do you go wrong with that? What if you never knew a word of the Bible, but you were just a good person? It's like, dude, I want that guy to be my neighbor. This guy's so, like, you know, it's not that you never have a bad day, but it's like, he's so joyful. He's so thankful. He's so giving. What a great guy. Does he go to your church? No. Oh, he's evil. He's of the devil. That doesn't compute. I don't get that, man. I don't get that. Yeah, that would be good, but that's not all of it. Cause like he's coming back with a white robe with a sword and he's striking down the nations. There's like so much violence that comes with his second coming. It's like, do you not believe that part of the Bible? It's weird, man. I was an anti-theist. Anti-theist? Does that mean atheist? I was an anti-theist for 24 years. Church is a cult, man. And that's another thing. That's another thing too. How can one church call another church a cult when they're basically exhibiting the same kind of cultic characteristics as the church that they just called a cult? I know people get upset when I talk about this kind of stuff, and religion isn't part of this channel or the Disturbing Illusion channel. I'm just thinking out loud. You're not of the devil. You're only to love God with all your heart and love your neighbor. I would be willing to do just a complete live stream where I listen to what you guys have to say. And this isn't to argue. I'm mostly, when I hear religious people talk, I'm in learning mode. It's learning mode because I ask questions, and I probably ask questions that make people mad, you know. But I do want to, I do ask people why they believe what they believe. And then I really want to drill down because I want to find out the genesis for why they believe what they believe. Because if you were born in, let's say, Spain or Rome, you're 95% likely to be a Catholic. If you were born in some place in China, you're probably destined to be a Buddhist. If you were born someplace in Iran or somewhere in the Middle East, you're either, part of Judaism or you're a Muslim and you're following Islam, which means, by the way, to submit. So if you're likely to have that upbringing of that particular religion, it's likely that you will carry that through your death without even. A lot of people just never question it. They're immersed in it. They were brought up around it. They're constantly taught it. They're constantly going to the mosque or the mausoleum or the church or the shrine. That's all they knew. And they don't even think to question it because it's like putting on your pants. That's just what we do. We just go to church. We just go to mosque. We just go to the shrine. We just pray 5 times a day. The call to prayer, we always respond to it because that's just what we do. it's the rare person who stands up in the midst of all that pressure, that cultural pressure, that sociological pressure, and say, why am I doing this again? Why do you do this right here? Why am I putting that thing on my tongue? Why am I drinking from that chalice with 150 other people who could be like, dripping with some kind of herpes or something like that? And the priest just wipes it. I grew up Catholic. I was an altar boy. I did all that kind of stuff. Thank God I was never molested. That would suck. I can't even imagine somebody going through that kind of reality. But that's what the Catholic Church is known for, is harboring PEDOs, PDF files. And then I got out of that and I got into like evangelical Christianity, and then thank you, Jason, and Pentecostal. And then I went to a Baptist church, and I was just kind of church shopping. You know what I mean? And then I got really serious about learning the Bible. The Bible, that's it. The Bible. Genesis 1:1 to Revelation 22:21. I'm believing it all. I'm taking it seriously. God is not to be messed with, but he's also a loving God, and believe in everything. And then I started thinking, well, what the heck is going on here? Because I'm believing these people are going to hell. They're believing I'm going to hell. Well, what if they're right? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm right and they're wrong? But then you find out, okay, nobody looked this up, okay? I see all you guys in the chat. I don't know how many people are in here. Silver Star, I don't know what that means. Thanks, Jason. How many denominations within the Christian church do you think they are? Without looking, don't look it up. Don't Google it. Just take a guess right now. How many denominations within Christianity do you think there are? And I'm talking about evangelical Protestant denominations. How many denominations do you think there are? I was shocked when I heard this. I was shocked. 300, not even close. 800, not even close. Not even close. Not even close. Let me show you this. Here, I'm just going to do it live. We'll do it live. It's over 30,000. It is over 30,000. Watch this. How many? How many Christian denominations are there? Look at this. 45 to 47. How can that even be true? There are an estimated 45 to 47,000 Christian denominations globally, though this high number counts many small independent or local churches. And you see them when you're driving across the country. There's these little bitty churches that probably don't even have 5, 10 members. That includes those. And they're their own denomination. That is off the charts crazy to me. How does anybody have this is worse than a needle in the haystack, guys. How does anybody have any hope of getting the right religion when most of these religions say they're the only ones who got the truth right? How do you have any hope? How? If this isn't even if it's 4,500, even if it's 450, how would you ever know that you got the right one? Greg Locke put up $30,000 of his church's donations that he could prove that we live. You can steal a lot more money if you don't pay. And you know what? I don't condemn anybody who goes to any kind of church, but you really got to question if in going to church, it affects your relationships with your family members, your friends. If you start isolating yourself and only hanging around your church family, you've basically sealed yourself in a vault. You basically put yourself into an echo chamber where I'm only going to surround myself with these people because only these people know the truth. Pretty much any pastor you see on TV is probably a crook. I would say you're 99.9999% right about that, Joshua. They just seem so scummy to me, especially that Kenneth Copeland character. Have you ever seen Kenneth Copeland? That's the guy who said, "Oh man, we got to play it. Who wants me to play Kenneth Copeland?" When he was approached, when he was in his limousine and he was about to go board his G5, and that lady came up to him and said, But you said that when you get into a commercial aircraft, you feel like you're in a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really remember that? Do you remember that? He just looked like, if you were going to conceptualize, I don't know what a demon looks like. I don't even know if they exist, but the comic book concept of demon is what I would picture Kenneth Copeland. Let's see, Ken confronted. It's gold. What does that mean? What does that mean, Michael? Oh, 1,000 jewels goat trophy. That's cool. Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. I got to be careful how much of Inside Edition I play because they are notorious for copyright strikes. So let's see if we can find the actual.
How are you, sir?
She's
We
so
just like to ask.
She's so friendly too. It's like she's so friendly and disarming, and he just changes, man. Let's see. And don't you ever say that I did. What was it?
We have brought over 100. Let's see.
Oh God, where is it? I just got to play that part because if
about it, and I thought that.
Oh, here we go.
Very concerned about that comment.
Give me a chance here inside.
Wait a second. Yeah. He's super. He acts super friendly, but then he really lets her have it.
He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Well, my question then, what okay.
Just such a weird character, man. I don't care what you say, but this guy's got some skeletons. This guy has done some I just feel like this dude has done some very, very bad things. We're talking about bodies in the basement level things.
Okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons because
Here we go. Here's the demons.
people are very.
I got to segment this up because they'll copyright strike this quick. Inside Edition, man.
Concerned about that comment.
Give me a chance here inside Edition. I love your eyes. And
oh man, that's going to change. Okay, where is it? They usually give a little graph about
to face personally.
Where is it?
Do you ever use your private jets to go visit your vacation homes, for example?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Your vacation homes, plural. This guy is rolling in the dough, taking advantage of and manipulating old people, is in my opinion.
Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because
Listen.
you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons.
Here we go.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Oh my God. Yeah, Reefer Madman. His eyes are soulless. Oh, man. Signing with the Vatican for one world religion. I didn't know about that. There's a lot of things I don't speak about because I'm ignorant about it. I haven't tuned into television. I think so, man. I think so, Carl. Look, let's just play it over. Look, oh God, just the awkward silence and just the piercing stare.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood.
And he tries to smile through it. It's like he's got something fighting inside of him.
But principalities and powers.
Can you explain what you meant by?
And then he quotes a scripture verse. What is that? Ephesians 4:12 or 5:12 or something like that. Somebody correct me on that. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with the principalities and powers of this dark world and the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Don't you ever say that I said that. And he said it. He actually said it to, I think it was Jesse Duplantis. He's like, I'm not going to get into a tube with a bunch of demons, he said. That's why he needs the G5 from Tyler, whatever his name was.
By that
Demons
are demons.
No,
Into a
back.
tube with
Listen.
a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Oh yeah, Ephesians 6. Don't you ever say that I said it. He did say it. So he's lying. He's lying. Where does Kenneth Copeland? Let's see. We just got to expose this guy. I just think it does the heart good to expose evil people. Let's see here. Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland too. Oh, here it is. Oh, we found it. It was the very first thing. Listen. Don't you ever say that I did.
Do you really
We're gonna expose Kenneth Copeland.
believe that
Oh, it's got both of them side by side. I love it.
human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Now, Oral used to fly airlines, right? But even back there then, man, it got to the place where it was agitating his spirit.
Sure.
People coming up to him. He had become famous, and they wanting him to pray for him and all that. You can't manage that today.
Right.
This dope.
God, it's almost like he's, like Andy Griffith. It's like an Andy Griffith type of vibe. It's almost like he tries to portray himself as this grandfatherly, patriarchal figure, but the perversion and the PDF file type stuff bleeds through. You know what I mean?
Filled world,
Right.
and get in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Right.
Do you really
Get in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
God, I love it He's a bigot, Andy Griffith. You know what? I used to think Andy Griffith was cool, guys, until I was like, man, that's how American policing should be. Just a peace. I don't even want to say officer, just a peace guy. Because once you say officer, you put that military aspect into it, which just kind of poisons the whole thing. But there was and I did this years ago. Do you remember the guy him and his buddy had a fruit stand, and they were outside, or they were actually within the county that Mayberry was in, but they were selling fruit on the side of the road? I mean, completely voluntary business transactions, not forcing anybody to do anything, no coercion or whatever. And Barney initially encountered the guy, and the guy was like a bully, and Barney backed down, and he tucked tail and ran. And then Andy Griffith came back. Well, they made that guy leave under the threat of force. They coerced that guy to leave. All the guy was trying to do was make a living with his fruit stand. He wasn't harming anybody, threatening to harm anybody. Does anybody remember that? They may have been cool, and it may have been really funny, but they were tyrants. And any tyranny is bad tyranny. Let's see. I got to prove it to you. Andy. Fruit stand Barney. Oh, shoot. What would it be called? Oh, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Barney Fife deals with two bullies. And really, the bully was Barney. Barney was the bully because he's the lawman, and he's coming up to these guys with guns saying, you need to hightail it out of here. And now he's dejected because he lost face, and the bullies had their way after he initially tried to, threaten them.
So that's why them fellas run off. I thought it was.
Here, let me just go back to this. Here we go. They're just selling fruit and vegetables. Look, that's all they're doing. They're not bothering anybody. They're off the road. They're not blocking traffic. Watch. I mean, yeah, it's funny because it's Barney Fife, Don Knotts. Who doesn't love that guy? But it's a psychological operation, guys. I'm telling you. I got to break this up because I don't want to get. Here we go. Watch this.
You fellas, I warned you before, now I'm warning you for the last time. You take your truck and you get out of here.
Why? What are they doing wrong? They're engaging in the free market. They want their slice of the American pie. There's no coercion involved here. They're not sticking people up and making them buy this fruit. I gotta pause it every once in a while, guys, or they'll do this copyright thing.
This is a deputy sheriff talking.
So what?
You get moving.
That's how we should be. Yeah, Barney, I love you, but I'm not moving because it wouldn't be right. What you're doing is not right. What you're doing is highly immoral. You're using your authority, your position, to try to scare us off, and we're not going to do it. This is how the American Revolution started. This is why I've gotten I can't take any shade of tyranny, because as soon as you let a little bit in because it's funny, or Mayberry's such a quaint town, and who doesn't love Andy and Barney? No, I don't want any shade of that frack. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Now,
Look, that's how we should be. Here we go.
do you see this badge? It says that I'm sworn to uphold the law.
Oh yeah, what law? Immoral laws that tell guys who are just selling peaches on the roadside they need to get out of here or else?
Now, that's what I mean to do, and you fellows better respect it.
We better respect it? We better respect somebody who's not respecting the free market or freedom in general?
You understand? It's just as simple as that.
This is insane tyranny, guys. This is insane. This man with a gun is actually threatening people, and the episode is Barney's getting bullied. Barney's being the bully.
You're both a lot bigger than I am. But this badge represents a lot of people.
No, it doesn't. It represents tyranny.
They're a lot bigger than either one of you. Now, are you going to get moving?
No, we're going to paint our faces, put feathers in our hair, and we're dropping as much tea as we can into the harbor. Come and get it, Barney.
Nice work, Barn. Nice work. That's as fine a job of stalking as I've ever seen.
I mean, so funny. These guys, I mean, you couldn't cast better characters, but tyranny's not funny. And I don't care what mask tyranny wears, the mask of laughter and humor and friendliness, it's still tyranny. It's just like we always say, tyranny with a smile is still tyranny. Friendly tyranny, talkative tyranny. You know, when cops come up and they act like they're your best friends, it's still tyranny. You still represent oppression and violence and coercion and everything ugly and wrong with the United States and the world. We don't need that. Don't make me respect you when you're not respectable. Does anybody disagree? If Brian's family was attacked, who's he going to call? Why would I call anybody? You arm yourself and you protect yourself. When you call the police, you have to know. You have to know, Wake and Possum, that when police arrive, if you had one problem before they arrived, well, now you got two problems. And the second problem, that's the police showing up, is way bigger. You might not survive through it. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Maybe. I've been in a position where I could have called the police, but just didn't, because it would have been bad for the person I called on. And it would have been bad for me. It's not that police, you know, I haven't had encounters with police, and it's not even that I've not had I've had good encounters with people who are cops. I've actually had cops help me. I'll accept that help. That's not a problem, but I'm not going to call them. Don't skip, Brian. What does that mean? Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm never, ever going to call the police, but I can't imagine what dire situation I would have to be to actually go to that. You know what I mean? You never say never. Hey, just giving you a phone call. You might want to bring some body bags. I've already taken care of the situation. What was that? What was it that one lady said? Remember, she was being attacked, and it was all on a 911 call. And she was talking to the 911 operator, and she said, "Don't worry, don't do anything. The police will be here." She goes, "He comes through that door, I'm going to shoot him graveyard dead, ma'am. I'm going to shoot him graveyard dead. Now, if you want your cops to come, just tell them to bring body bags and maybe some clipboard so they can take a report or whatever. But that's all I need them for." Did I do some 666 thing? It's so funny. Somebody freeze framed me doing this one time. This is meaning. This just means okay to me. I also did something. I had a before and after picture from when I was 18 to when I was whatever 33 years later was, and I even mentioned it on the thing. It's like, see, he's a Freemason because he used the word. He used the number 33. That's so superstitious. So superstitious. Does that mean that some signs and symbols don't mean some things to somebody? At some times, no. Like, why are you putting black and white checkerboards in your kitchen? Oh, that's Freemasonic. Well, what if you like black and white? What if you like rainbows, but you have nothing to do with LGBT and all the perversion involved and all of that stuff, but you like rainbows? It's like, look, there's rainbows in the sky. I mean, what crazy stuff, man. Oh, that's First Amendment agitator. Meant okay my whole life until somebody hijacked the okay hands up. Thank you. Yes. Somebody freeze framed me doing this right here, and they said, see, that proves that Brian is a Freemason. Look, somebody's going to do it right now. Look, I'm going to do it again. It was somebody. Oh, I'm not even going to say who it was because I don't want to open that can of worms. Like you're prohibited from ever doing that. Ever. So I don't like to be restricted and placed in a box. Do you? Fine. Everything Mason does it. Not everyone who does it. There you go. That's great, Melody. I love it. Every Mason does it. Not everyone who does it is a Freemason. That's good. Yeah, I do that all the time. What does it say? Who the F cares? People need to live their own lives to their own standards. Stop setting them for. Thank you, Thomas. Yes, exactly. And besides that, 666, does it really mean anything? If you never had Revelation 13 where 666 appears, his number is 600, 76. If you never knew about that, would 666 have any significance? Does 665 and 664 and 667 have the same significance? Well, they would if Revelation 13 had mentioned those numbers. And then you got Damien Omen, where it's like the 666 is like inscribed in his head, like the devil, if there was a devil, would actually do that. Oh, look, he's of the devil. He's got a 666. Now, I'm not saying that these symbols don't mean things to people, because they obviously do. Bohemian Grove creeps me out. Yeah, words do matter, but what if you use a word that somebody misconstrues as, something that you don't mean it as? Are you going to stop using it because somebody else brought it to your attention that when these people use it, it means this? It's like, yeah, but okay, so what? When I use it, it means this. It means, okay, I understand. 10-4. 13 is a lucky number in other countries. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. We got to escape superstition. Like, is there any building you've ever been in that has a 13th floor? And yet engineers and contractors make you go 10, 11, 12, 14, because 13. That is unbelievable. That is so religious and unbelievable to me. You're going to be paralyzed by a number to the point where you don't even design a 13th floor. Wow. In Italy, 13 is lucky and 7 is unlucky. Interesting. Skipping my comments with the actual question. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't see all the comments. And then, like, let's say there's 100 people in the room and I'm supposed to see everybody's comments. I can't see everybody's comments. What's up, Steve? You know what floor you're really on? Mitch Hedberg. I don't get that one over my head. Man, it's so good to hang out with you guys. So good. All right, I'm looking for Mojo's question. Wah, wah, ha, ha. Didn't you say someone accused you of being a Jesuit? Yeah. Yes. I could mention his name right now, but I don't want to give him any airtime. He's always stalking my comments too. He won't leave me alone, or at least he's left me alone for the last year and a half. So why not cover who they are and how they work with Copeland to tie into the Vatican? Because that's just somebody else. You could do that. Mojo, start a channel. You can do it. Thank you for the glory of Christ. I love that guy. Thanks for being understanding, man. Thanks for being patient with me. I know I don't believe the way you believe and all that stuff, but we can still talk and we can still be friends. I love that. And it's not even that I condemn all these religions out there. It's just that I have serious questions. How do you know that your religion, your denomination is the right one, that God is actually pleased with what you're doing? And how do you know that you're serving the right God? I don't think you could ever know. Even if a God came down and revealed himself to you, what if another God came down and revealed himself to somebody else? It could be the same one. It could be different. See, that's what I love about you, man. Love you, B. Love you back, man. I don't even know what your real name is. The Holy Spirit shows you, but you know, the Mormons say that. They're like, yeah, you can feel the burning in your bosom. That's the Holy Spirit. You know, the Jehovah's Witnesses say that. The Catholics say that. You'll get an answer from God. It's inside. It's like, but what if that's not really the one? What if I'm fabricating it in my mind? And a lot of people do. Thank you for the jewels. I don't even know what that means, but that's cool. They just know. They just know. I mean, hell, the rituals don't have fake stories with cops investigate for 33 hours like the one you covered with Tabitha Smith, all fake. That went over my head. What if God reveals himself differently to different cultures, says Smooth? What is this right here? Because men don't give their lives for lies or something they don't believe in, not honorable men. Are you referring to the apostles? Because I know what that argument is. It's like, no, they gave their lives because they saw Christ. Well, that's just the story. How do you know those apostles even lived? You have to be honest. You don't. You were told that they lived. They could have lived, but they could have easily not have lived. They, Thomas and Andrew and Peter and Paul the apostle, these people, it could be just completely from the bottom to the top made up. And you have to be willing to admit, yes, I believe this. I don't know it. I don't know that there was really an apostle Paul. I see these writings that are attributed to him, but I don't know that. I just believe. And that's all it is. That's what faith is. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for. What is it? The substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. What is it? Hebrews 11:1. I can't remember. Brian, whether you believe in numerology or not, the madmen who are running the show operate in signs and symbols. So if they believe they will make the mark of the beast a reality, they'll try. No doubt. No doubt. I think people will die for what they believe. We see that all the time. People will set themselves, they'll pour gasoline on their heads and set themselves on fire. That does not convince me that they were serving the right God. Matter of fact, I don't want to serve that God because I'm never doing that to myself. Holy crap. Here comes Joseph Doe. 5 memberships for people in the room. And by the way, somebody was asking earlier, how do you get access to one of those memberships? It's done randomly through the YouTube algorithm. So I have no control over who gets those. It's propaganda brainwashing. Who was it that said religion is the opiate of the masses? It could be true. That could be true. I also believe that religion serves a very important purpose in people's lives because they take great comfort in, say, the ritual of praying the rosary. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. So the glory be, or the Our Fathers, and then they go all around the rosary. People take great comfort, and it's been shown to physiologically lower the blood pressure, lower cortisol levels, make people feel at ease and at peace. Wow, Steve Harola just came in with 5 Here's the Deal memberships as well. You guys, super humbling. I really, really appreciate you guys doing that. If you snap one of those memberships up there, say thanks Steve, thank Jay Lobo, and also thank Joseph Doe. You have to go in your account settings and turn on the ability to receive gifts, says Jennifer. Did not know that. Did not know that. I thought opiates were the opiates of the masses. That's pretty funny. I love hanging out with you guys. I would definitely. Are you guys interested in doing a live stream that's dedicated to doing a call-in show about religion and not arguing, just learning, just having a calm, collected conversation about why you believe what you believe and how you view others who don't believe the way you do? If you guys are interested in that, put a 1 in the room and I will write it down and see if we can talk about that. Although I'm not sure that Here's the Deal is the place for it. Let's see. Where could we do? I guess we could do it on the Disturbing Illusion. It's kind of weird to be talking about this. Probably a lot of people don't want to talk about this on Here's the Deal. And I totally understand that. If I get quite a few 1s, what did Steve say? How do you do this stuff right here? How do you do that? All those characters and stuff. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Thank you, Steve. Steve, are you still in Hawaii? Brian, are you going to endorse me exposing Jesuit and how they tie everything you claim to expose? I don't understand that. Are you going to endorse me exposing Jesuit? I don't know what you mean. You can do whatever you want to. I don't trust the people in the Jesuit order. I think they're liars, and I think they're pawning off a whole bunch of nonsense to a billion people who call themselves Catholics, and they're being deceived. That's my belief. That would be awesome, says Jen. There's a 1 from Donnie. Sojourner's Truth. Jennifer. Donnie again. Lost Souls. For the Glory of Christ. Would you be interested in that? Do it on High Impact Flicks? That's a thought. That's a thought. Mojo, I haven't pissed you off or anything, have I? Come on now, dude. Use the net. It's not hard to see. I'm not interested in exposing the Jesuits. I'm just not. That's not my thing. I'll expose tyranny, and I may expose Jesuits, on the Disturbing Illusion channel. I don't know enough about it, and I don't have a desire to really know about the Jesuits. I mean, other people do that. Oh, For the Glory says yes. Pablo says yeah. I'm laughing at this. I'm not sure what we're talking about here, Mojo. Equals tyranny. Go read John Adams and Jefferson on them. Okay, do a video on it. I would definitely watch it. Catholics are being misled. I don't think you have to go to church, but we are to assemble the more as the day of his return is getting closer. I counted at least 30 ones. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. What would we call that live stream? Just I'll just say religion for right now. High Impact Flicks is kind of a dead channel, so I don't know how many. I'd like to get a couple hundred people in there because I really do want to hear what a whole lot of people say about a whole lot of different, angles, the religious angles, and how people have arrived at this conclusion, and if they'd be willing to admit that what they believe could possibly be wrong, and they're only going by what they've been taught. They have no way to actually verify from the source if this is true. I challenge you to a debate on the role of the state. Your lack of substance in action is very serious. Faith without works is dead. I dare you. My lack of substance in action of what? on the role of the state. Faith without works is dead. Randy says, number one, Brian, you're not a Democrat. Number two, you know there's evil, so you know there's good, and you choose good. Number three, you need to know there is only one true God that does all good. I don't, how could you possibly arrive at that conclusion? How could you possibly arrive at that conclusion when even the common Hebrew word for God is plural? Elohim is not singular. And even God says we when he's talking about the Godhead. We does not mean one. And it's very clear in Genesis that now they, what does it say? What does he say in Genesis? Was it Genesis 2? Now they have become like us, knowing good and evil. He says us and he says we. Yeah, but see, that's the Catholic. Yeah. See, that's where it gets interesting. People infer and they're taught tradition. And I'm like, you know what? God says he hates all workers of iniquity. And other people are like, no, God is a God of love. He could never hate people. And it's like Isaiah 45:7 says what it says. He hates all workers of iniquity. And then even says that I form the light and create darkness. I create peace and I create evil. The creator, God takes credit for creating evil. Why? Why did he do that? Because there has to be free will. Well, guess what? There's no, if there's a word proorizo, which means to limit in advance, which means predestination, then there can't be free will because he chose you before time began. You didn't exist before time began, or did you? So there's all these contradictions and there's all these questionable things that are in the Bible. As long as you have a word like proorizo, you have a roadblock to free will. There can't possibly be free will. In other words, free from God's influence. You're free from all influence to make your own choice. I don't even think that's possible. As long as you have your mind filled with any idea that comes from somebody other than you, then there's a possibility that you were manipulated and exploited and coerced some way inside to make the choice that you made. And even if there wasn't all this outside influence, God says proorizo. And he says, he used the word helkuo, what is it, 6 or 7 times in the New Testament, which means that you're dragged against his will. It says no one can come to the Father unless, no one can come to the Son unless the Father who sent me, helkuo, draws him. And it's the same word that's used when Simon Peter draws the sword and cuts off Malchus's ear. Drags. The sword had no choice but to be drawn. It can't resist. It can't object. It can't consent or not consent. It's just inanimate. And that's the same word that Jesus used when he says, no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me, elkuo, draws him. In other words, if there's a God and if the Bible is true, then the Bible teaches proorizo, to limit in advance. And who's the limiter? The limiter is God. God said, you will be saved, and God said, you will be damned. Many are called, few are chosen. Few are chosen. But then you got, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. But who will be the believers? Only those who were chosen. If you weren't chosen, you don't follow Christ. If you don't follow Christ, you go to hell. And it had nothing to do with you, because what did he say to Isaiah? Was it Isaiah 10:1 or something like that? He said, I chose you before the world began. I chose you. You chose me. You predestined me before time began, but I have free will? That doesn't make any sense at all. No sense. He controls everything, beginning to end. And if you have any question about it, Paul, if he did write Romans chapter 9, 10, and 11, makes it very, very clear. It's not of him who wills, nor of him who calls, but of God who shows mercy. Not of him who wills? There's no free will in that. So really, free will is kind of an interesting teaching. It sounds extra biblical, if you ask me. That's how confusing it is. That's why you can call me a fence sitter or whatever. God is outside of time. But there was a point at which we didn't exist, right? And if there's a point at which we didn't exist and God was outside of time, appointing who would exist, and when you did exist, you were appointed for eternal life or eternal damnation, how do you have anything to do with that? Or are we gods? Interesting. I just find it super interesting. It's really crazy. All right, let me just show you one more thing. You guys, please don't forget to cover Sean when you have a time. Yeah, but you got to tell me, what was it that video that I brought up back, Shamil? Was it? I really want to find that. Let me just show you what confuses me. Okay, let me just show you what confuses me. I don't want to make anybody mad. I love all you guys, with whatever capacity that I have to love you guys, because some might not construe it as love if it's not in Christ. But let me just show you this. Let's see, Romans 9, just the whole chapter. I like NKJV, but they all pretty much say the same thing. Oh God, that's satanic scriptures right there. All right, check this out. And guys, I'm not religious, okay? I don't go to church. I'm not a Christian. I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti-Christ. I'm not a atheist. I just think, God, it just seems like, when I look at my hands, I mean, like, I'm super simple. When I look at my hands and like when my index finger moves like this, or you can play the piano or the guitar, or you can massage your wife's back, or you can hold your baby, or you can scratch. Just this right here tells me that there's something designed that didn't just happen. That doesn't look like a mistake to me. And there are things in the universe that are far more complex than this right here. You know what I mean? And no, I'm not on drugs, but I think about stuff like this. And then if I do this right here, I can feel it. Somehow my brain sends the message, but what is feeling? What is that? What is that? I can scratch myself and feel it. And then think about the complexity of the eyeball or the circulatory system. And I breathe. And this stuff they tell us called oxygen fills our lungs, and it's got a mixture of other gases, and it goes to the alveoli, and then it sends these little gases out into the bloodstream, and somehow that gives us life. And if you didn't have one of those components, you're pretty much dead. I can't be an atheist because I don't believe that time times chance times nothing, or outside of time times chance times nothing equals everything that we see. Like if we went to Mars and we saw something this simple, we would not say that evolution produced it. We would not say this has nothing to do with an intelligent mind creating a cup that, I don't know if you can see the water in there, that holds water. Or if we saw, even if we saw like a rag, even if we saw a rag right there, we'd be like, something fashioned that. And this is super simple, let alone complex geometric shapes or some kind of machine or something like that. You would never, no rational mind could ever say that if we found a coffee cup, especially that had writing on it, oh, that just formed over eons. No, it didn't. No, it did. Oh, it just happened to have a handle. Just happened to have words that we can understand. But it says, so therefore I'm not an atheist. I'm not anti some intelligent life that I don't understand created everything that is. I don't know. Maybe that's too simple. But it is not that the word of God has taken no effect, for they are not all Israel who are of Israel, nor are they all children, because they're of the seed of Abraham. But it says, in Isaac your seed shall be called. That is, those who are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of promise are counted as the seed. For this is the word of the promise, at this time I will come and Sarah will have a son. And it says, not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one man, even our father Isaac, for the children not being born nor having done any good or evil, including exercising belief in a God. They haven't done good. They haven't done evil. Heck, they haven't even been born yet. They don't even exist. That the purpose of God, according to what's that word? Election, might stand, not of works, but of him who called. It was said to her, the older shall serve the younger, as it is written. And then God says this, Jacob I have loved, but Esau, God is saying this, I have hated. God chose to hate a baby before the baby even came into the world. What the hell is that all about? God hated Esau. I love Jacob, but I hated Esau. What the heck? And I'm not even saying this is legit. I'm not saying that this is God who's saying this. Paul or whoever wrote Romans is saying it is, but that is weird. That is confusing as all get out. It's a waste of time. Well, here's why I don't think it's a waste of time, because millions of people believe in it. Millions of people say they believe the Bible, but they don't believe that. And then they pick and choose. And then it's like the Thomas Jefferson Bible. Well, I'll believe this, but I won't believe that. I'm just going to rip this page out, and I choose to believe John 3:16, but I'm not going to believe Isaiah 45:7. It's like, as far as I know it, if you are sola scriptura, then it's every word from Genesis 1:1 to Revelation 22:21. The question is, which translation, which scroll did you get it from? Can you trust the translators? Did King James and his crew mess things up and add things or take things away? If they did, how would you know they did or didn't? Are there books missing that should be in there? Are there books in there that shouldn't be in there? You don't know. You don't know. But you'll call this scripture because you believe it. And I don't down you believing it. It's just, why do you believe it? And in your belief, could you be wrong? Because you gotta answer that honestly. Yeah, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. The Bible could be just bogus. This Jesus concept and the apostles and the dying on the cross, which other religions also have, a dying savior, a sacrifice. How do I know which one's legit? Maybe they're all not good. Are they all right? Are they all wrong? Time is volumetric. Time is a volumetric entity embedded in space. Holy cow. What the heck? The Bible is divine government. Brian and his silly dodging antics and rambles. Brian, thank you for admitting it publicly, loud and clear. You are not a Christian. Jesus warned specifically about people like you, false teachers. Interesting. Mormons call themselves Christians. Is that the legitimate Christian? Jehovah's Witnesses call themselves, Catholics call themselves Christians. Jesuits call themselves the true Christians. Interesting. Time does not exist, says Tennessee Accountability. We've been fooled. 50 cards in the deck, then they added 2 jokers. I thought there were 52 cards and 2 jokers. I thought there were 54 cards in the deck. Anywho, hey, Tashanta, there's Tashanta. I'm just being honest, guys. Or at least I think I'm being honest. I mean, maybe I could be deceiving myself. That's a possibility too. You got to be open to all that stuff. It's like, are you being honest with me? I think I am, but also I acknowledge that I could be deceiving my own heart. You know what I mean? Hence the hate, because Satan will choose the Antichrist from that faith. Hence the beheadings. Talmudic Jays do the same as did Catholics. Hence Pope Francis leading all religions as one except Christians. One's honesty is just like another man's lyrics. Mojo wants to debate Brian. I'll talk to him. I'm not really interested in debating, but he's already shown that he's not an honest person, and he's already engaged in ad hominems. And I really don't have any desire to talk to somebody who's already casting accusations without substantiation from his perspective. Should watch the documentary Inside the Pirah. What is that? Piraha world? Anyhow, 257. There's probably not many people watching right now. Jesus is but what Jesus? What Jesus, Joshua? You know, Paul the Apostle said there's another Jesus, another gospel, and another spirit. How do you know you're following? Even if there was a right one, how do you know it's the right one? Because the Catholics believe they have the right Jesus. The Baptist, the Church of Christ, the Presbyterians, the Pentecostal, the Assembly of God, the Calvinists. There's 45,000 denominations. They all believe they have the right Jesus, saying the other people who believe that they have the right Jesus have the wrong Jesus. That's what drives me crazy. Steve says, God is an all-loving God unless you're my daughter's mom and are a Jehovah's Witness. Then you are disfellowship for having a baby with a non-Jehovah's Witness and out of wedlock. Then you're kicked out. See, that's the strength and power of and deception of belief, is that they are willing to put relationships, like real family relationships, on the chopping block because of their belief structure and their new Jehovah's Witness family or Mormon family. They're willing to actually disown actual family members because of their belief. That's how powerful belief is. Belief will cause people to put on Nike tennis shoes and dress in dark clothing and lay on beds and do a mass offing. Beliefs are powerful, man. Just like Voltaire said, those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. It's just as absurd to me to believe Santa Claus comes down from the North Pole with this finite looking sled, but he's able to somehow fill, go down chimneys and put gifts under every tree and stop for a bite of cookies and get it all done in less than 8 hours while everybody's sleeping. And then that's just North America. And now he's got to go to the other parts of the world. It's just as ludicrous for me, in my opinion, to believe that as it is for me to believe, to attend a Kingdom Hall and believe what the Jehovah's Witnesses say, or go to Rome and believe what the Pope says. It's the same thing, because how do you prove that Santa Claus doesn't exist? There's presents under every tree at Christmas. Santa Claus had to do it, right? How do you prove to a child that, after you've taught them that the Easter Bunny exists, how do you prove to them that it wasn't the Easter Bunny that put that basket behind that curtain or hid those eggs in the lawn somewhere in a shrub? After you've already indoctrinated them, after you've already lied to them, it's kind of like that's why I hate deception and lies. But then you got to be willing to admit that you may be operating on a scale of deception and lies yourself. And then I got to start from the beginning. I got to go out and actually physically touch grass, get dirt in my hands and smell it and go, okay, this is dirt. This is flesh. I have a bloodstream. Let's just start from the beginning. Let's build up. Truth is truth. Lies are lies. Don't tell me don't tell me I'm, a cat when I know what a cat is. You know what I mean? Because people get so far out on a limb about here's my belief structure, and it gets so complicated. It's like you got to keep the sacraments, you got to pray the Stations of the Cross, and you got to genuflect before you enter that pew, and then there's the holy water, and then there's the making the sign of the cross, and then you get so deep into this complexity, and you got to follow the Second Vatican II Council. We don't follow the First Vatican anymore. Council of Nicaea in, Council of Trent out, and it's like, what the hell are we doing here? What are we doing? Yes, Brian, people do this, then mess their kids' brains up. I know, man. I know. It's the worst. It's the worst. And then they grow up to be adults that do the same things to their kids. That's Jesuit, not Christian. Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I can't talk to Mojo because Mojo has already made up his mind. Not open to any kind of correction, not open to any kind of real discussion. Just wants to have me to have a good talking to. Got to see it my way. You got to expose the things I want you to expose. That's control. It's being controlling. Belief is the enemy of knowledge. It can be, but I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. I think belief is very important. I think belief is I think belief can console you in times of sorrow. I think there's a benefit to belief that transcends knowledge. You know what I mean? Because I want to believe that flock safety isn't going to take over, that Palantir, that there's not going to be this AI robotics takeover. I want to believe that, and in a sense, I have hope that that's not going to happen. But then I also realize that my hope could be misguided. My belief could be fundamentally flawed. But there's a point at which you know that if you can escape, I mean, I may be wrong about this, but there's a way that you can use belief to escape some kind of despair or console yourself when things don't make sense. I don't know. There could be a value in belief apart from knowledge, but it's very dangerous. It's a dangerous road. It's like, how far do you go down that road? Do I dip my toe in the pool, or do I just like take the plunge? Lose? I don't even care. Like, why would I care about losing? Why would I care about losing? There you go. There's your link. You got the platform. Opening it up. 45. We got 15 minutes. It'll be 3 hours. I wanted to stop this in an hour, but Mojo, go ahead and answer that right there. I'm only going to respond to you. Was I pressured into this? You won't debate because you know you will lose. What am I going to lose? You control conversations and selectively pick comments. Well, of course, I can't pick all the comments, so they're selected. That's a liar of a debater already from you. Very dishonest. That's pretty one-sided. That's lopsided. But there you go, Mojo. Now we're going to do a vocal debate. That's the link. You can call in. This is vocal. It'll be vocal. What'd you say? Nah, we are going to do a vocal. That is vocal. I'm giving you the link so that you can call in. That's vocal. There you go. There's the link again. I'm only going to respond to you. If I see anybody else, I'm not going to bring you on. I'm only going to bring Mojo 5628 on. He wants to debate for some reason. Not this typing crap. We will set up a debate with the mediator. You wanted to debate. There's the link. Call in. Call in, Mojo. That's your chance. This is your chance. We don't need a moderator because I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. Here, Mojo, here's the link again. I don't know exactly what I would lose. I'm not like holding fast to any kind of position other than I hate it when people do wrong to other people. Some people can't handle honesty or the truth. Intuitive discernment and spiritual discernment, if people are not wide open for any possibility, intellectual honesty with oneself, not good. Yeah, I know. It is not good to be. You got to be honest. You got to be honest with yourself. Come on, Mojo. I'm waiting for you. Call in, Mojo. Chaotic says call in. Who wants Mojo to call in? And now backs off. I don't know. I'm not gonna give him a hard time if he doesn't, but this is his chance. Call in, Mojo. I want to hear what I'm going to lose. I worry if you have, again, 400,000 subs, they will shut you down again. I don't know. I don't know if Mojo's a coward, Mark. I'm not going to call Mojo a coward. If Mojo was my neighbor, actually, I know Mojo would want me as a neighbor. Mojo, do it. Call in, brother. If you guys want Mojo, we want to hear you. Mojo says, I'm right here. No, Mojo, call in. You want to do it voice? You just said voice. There's the StreamYard link again. That link affords you the opportunity to come on and say the things that you want to say uninterrupted. We don't need a mediator or a moderator. Hey, Steve, are you willing to be a moderator? I guess Mojo wants a moderator. I trust you, Steve. I trust all you guys, but I feel like Steve and I have been together for a long time. Steve, are you willing to come aboard and be a moderator? Mojo, please go for it. Let's set it up. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. Steve Harola, do you want to do the moderator? I've seen Steve's videos. I feel like he's really articulate, and I think that he would be a great moderator. Love that guy. Mojo says, LOL, and y'all doing ad hominems. Have I done an ad hominem to Mojo? I don't think I have. I can't control what other people say. And I'm not calling you a coward or anything, but you did say you wanted to talk and you said you wanted to do it voice, and you've been on the chat for the better part of an hour. And now here's your chance. Oh, what did he say right there? About your connections to RFB, the nose shill Richie from Boston. My connections to RFB? RFB like disowned me a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was about. But if RFB wanted to patch things up, that's Richie from Boston, I would patch things up with them because I feel like it's more valuable and beneficial to the world to build a relationship than to tear it down. Mojo, I'm going to put that link in there one more time. I don't think I saw. Did Steve say he'd be willing to be a moderator? I told you I debate professionally, not this mob rule crap. What mob rule? There would be nobody but you and me. What mob rule? Oh, you don't have a voice. Did you lose your voice? Shoot. Okay, let's do this again because I don't think I looked back at it. Put a 1 in the Mojo wants to debate me. He says that I'm wrong. He says that I don't want to debate him or whatever he said. And he said he wanted to do it by voice. I've given him a link. So if you want Mojo to come up here and prove me wrong, there's the StreamYard link for Mojo. And I've been doing this since 45. It's 50 right now for 6 minutes almost. And now he's not coming up to debate like he said he wanted to do. It would be just one-on-one. There would be nobody else, Mojo. You even asked for a moderator, so that would be 3 people. And I don't have a dog in the fight on what we're talking about. I don't have any love for Jesuits, and I'm not a fan of Catholicism or, religion in general for that matter. So I'm just kind of confused. I'm pretty intrigued about this though. He said, nah, we are going to do a vocal debate. And that's what I'm putting out there. And so many people want Mojo to do it. And here's his chance. And if anybody came, I'm at work. I told you, kiddo. That's another way to demean someone right there. Got it. Do I do that to people, guys? Do I talk down to people like that? Like they're below me and I'm above them? Because I told you, kiddo, is I'm above you and you're below me. About to go back in, just caught your stream and had to call it out. Like I said, we can set it up. This is your chance, Mojo. I'm not really interested in pursuing this stuff. There's the stream. There's the stream. Let me just say this. If I do talk down to people, if I do that, if I've done that, forgive me. That's just not my intention at all. I'm a little disappointed that Mojo didn't click on that link. There, he did it again, kiddo. What are you, like 90 years old? Or like, if you're younger than 58, that's a little unfair. Even if a man calling another man kiddo is just strange to me. It's in my neck of the woods, that'd be called disrespect, boy. It doesn't bother me, but it's just, it reveals the heart. Thanks, man. Thanks, Dad. Lunch breaks. Well, I gave you a chance, Mojo. I guess we're never going to talk because I'm really not interested in it. But you laid down the gauntlet and I had to pick it up. You trapped me. You got me. Now I'm going to lose sleep over it. Oh gosh, Mojo's probably back at work right now. All right, guys, I've wasted enough of your time. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. I'm just going to let these flood the bottom here. Delete Laws was in here. Selwyn. God, I've got to memorize that name. Mama Rages. Selwyn. Why can I not say that? J Lobo. Aloha Brian. Phenom Rogue. Russell. Earnhardt. Life Under the Mic. Delete Laws again. Life Under the Mic. Life Under the Mic. The Virtual Reptarium. God, I can't believe it's 8:25. VA Law. I do like the words. I do like the words of Otto the Watchdog. I love that guy. Life Under the Mic. Rancho Relaxo. Josh. Chris. Michael Jordan. Comrade Cranky. Oh, hey, what's up? You and Show. Oh, yeah. I read that. Virtual Rats. Aloha, Jason again. Michael Stomper 97. He was flying the plane to Epstein Island. Gosh, I forgot who we were talking about there. Gold Coin, Plane. Hot Dog, I appreciate you being a new member. And if you want to become a member, it really does help out the channel greatly when you do that. Appreciate everybody who's a member. If you support on Patreon, if you do the Buy Me a Coffee, Cash App, if you've ever given to this channel, even if it's just a comment or a like and or a share, guys, I really appreciate that because there's a lot of algorithmic suppression these days. It's really hard to overcome. My channel is like not doing well. Not doing well at all. Steve, love you, man. I hope you get your voice back. Let's see. Bri, I challenge you. Oh yeah, here's another challenge to a debate on the role of the state. Your lack of substance in action is very serious. Faith without works is dead. That is intriguing. Believe in me or burn in lava forever. Haha, I love you, says Fishman. God is an all-loving God unless you're... Oh, yeah, I read that. Michael again. Steve, just do the right thing and hit the like button. And the last one is Tony with 2 jewels. Got to find out what that means. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys being here. Just, man, be kind and compassionate to each other. If you have relationships that you can repair, try to do it. For all we know, this is our last day on earth. Make it the best. Make this the best world we possibly can. And maybe we have a hope of pushing back the darkness and the evil and the flock safety and the Palin tyranny and the left versus right paradigm nonsense. I appreciate all you guys, and I will see you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Like, share, and I'll see you in the next video.